Some blue skies above, changeable weather conditions in the Highlands today. And this is high stakes. And the final place in the top flight of the SPFL will go to either Ross County, who are looking to preserve their status for the third successive season via the playoffs, or Livingston after one season away. A Misang goal for County, right Nightingale, Campbell across the back as Livy kick off in the yellow and black, going left to right towards the jail end, and County in their navy shirts, white shorts, red socks. Ifete, Kenna, Randall, Harmon across the middle, Nisbet supporting White and Hale. For Livy, Prior in goal, Brandon, McGowan, Wilson, Fraser, Finlayson, Pittman and Kelly, Smith, Montagno and Muirhead, as that ball goes out of play for a throw into Livy on this near side. It's about level with the edge of the centre circle on this main stand side, right in front of Brian Rice, the Livy assistant, who is standing on the edge of the technical area. Don Cowie to his right. Cowie's been through this mill before over the course of the last 2 years as assistant to Malky Mackay when they edged Partick Thistle on penalties, having been 3-0 down in aggregate with about 20 to play of the second leg. And then as manager, interim as it was 12 months ago, as the East Pass Wraith Rovers, he was named full-time boss here in the minutes, in fact, after that game, confirmed by Rob McGregor. As that goes out for a throw to County over on the far side, midway inside their own half. It's bowled forward there by Ifete down the line. They're going to get it up towards Jordan White, who did add something in the second half when he came on the other night. Indeed won the penalty. And his flick header goes straight back into Livy possession, and they've got it clear up the left-hand side, but it's nodded behind for a throw-in over there about level with the County penalty spot. And a chance here for them to load the box, and Robbie Muirhead on long throw duty again, as he was in West Lothian on Thursday. He's not got much of a run-up between the stand and the touchline over there, but here it comes anyway, bowled towards the angle of the 6-yard box, headed away by the County skipper Randall. Kept alive over there by the on-loan Ranger Robbie Fraser, out to the left. In comes the cross, flicked towards the penalty spot. The effort from Montagno was blocked. He was on the turn, he couldn't quite dig the shot out though. And County block and clear up that far side. But it's a promising start to the match here by Livingston. Michael Stewart.
Yeah, it was, and it was a good block there from Campbell just as Montagno had turned to have a strike. I think the important thing for County is, and I know the game's just settling down, but equally they've got to try and make a pass. You know, the ball dropped before and it was just thump up the park, and I actually think Nisbet was there to try and slide the ball into it. Instead it was just thump it up the park. I get it's early on, they're wanting to sort of just feel their way into it, but equally there needs to be a recognition of a pass is on.
Long ball by Stephen Kelly was flicked the wrong way back towards his own goal by Nightingale, and Eli Campbell puts it out for a Livingston throw-in again over on that far side, the Livy left, as they attack the goal to the right. Still inside the opening 3 minutes of the second leg here, and once more Muirhead's over there drying the ball with his shirt as he gets ready to bowl this back into the County penalty area. Positive start here by the side looking for promotion. Muirhead in, again it's to the angle of the 6-yard box where Randall heads it behind for the game's first corner. It goes to Livingston. John Robertson.
Yeah, County look a little bit nervous. You said they've not tried to get their foot in the ball. Livingston have tried to play a couple of wee passes there, but very cute. Ball over the top, go and chase that, facing your own goal. They get the throw in, they get the corner. As I said, this is what bore fruit for them in the first leg.
Swinging corner coming up from Stephen Kelly, right-footed from the left, and it comes very deep towards McGowan. He does get something onto it. Randall puts it out for a throw-in with his head out to this near side, so Livy able to keep the pressure on here. You get the long throw right, it's as good as a corner. And Muirhead coming over to take this again. That's what we're seeing on Thursday. He's enjoyed his best goal-scoring season in his career, 18 for the campaign, and a big reason why Livy are here right at the end of the campaign, still with the dream of going up. And it comes from Muirhead. He gets more pace and power in that one, headed away by Nightingale. It's coming back towards the penalty spot for Nuan Kenny. Heads it out to the far side. Brandon with a little touch, but it's gone straight back into County possession over on the far side. Ronan Hale picks up, looks to slip it back towards either Kenna or White, but it goes wrong. Straight to Pittman it goes, and he goes back to Jerome Prior, whose clearance goes straight to Randall. Now Kenna turning it back to Nightingale inside the centre circle, just slipping it to his left for Campbell, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Misa hits it long, first time with the right foot into the Livy half, flicked on by White, but there is Finlayson to turn it back to Prior, who clears first time with a left foot up to the halfway line, but it will come back off a County player, Last Campbell, and it will be a Livy throw, which is going to be taken quickly here by Finlayson, who's the one alteration to the Livy starting 11 tonight from the one that started at Ammanvale. 2 for County. Here's Pittman to the edge of the box. Kelly, it's not a great touch, and that allowed Akil Wright to make the challenge. Nisbet goes down, play on. It's shifted by Kenna out to White on the near side, rolls it into the centre circle for Nisbet, probably County's best player the other evening. It's Hale, lovely reverse, left hand side of the box. Harmon dinks the ball towards the back post, headed back towards the 6-yard line to the smallest player in the pitch. Nisbet couldn't get anything onto it and Livy clear, but that was better from Ross County, and it's really fine link-up play by Ronan Hale.
That was good. That was really good. Started with Nisbet picking the ball up in the middle of the park, and then they're winning second balls. But yeah, it was that was a bit of confidence building there, the build-up from Ross County, and just unfortunate that there was nobody that was a little bit taller than Nisbet when the ball came back in from Fetty when he headed it back into the box.
County without a victory in their last 10. You've got to go back to the 1st of March to find a County win. It was against Kilmarnock. And here they come, lovely ball. Kenna, left-hand side of the Livy box. It's with Hale. Hale's low ball across, and Nisbet taps home! County leads on the night and in the tie. Josh Nisbet inside the 6-yard box, taps it into the net. And for now at least, it is Ross County 1, Livingston 0, and 2-1 to the Staggies in aggregate. That goal though's being checked.
Yeah, it's going to be checked because it looked tight for the offside here, but good play from Hale. He's peeled into the area there, and exactly what needs Josh Nisbet, the smallest guy in the pitch. He's got the box. Livy haven't trapped him. It's a wonderfully weighted ball for him to slide past Prior. Livy are convinced he's offside, but for now, if that stands, that's the first little bit of football that County are capable. And I tell you what, if it does stand, what a lift it will give County themselves, because it's certainly lifted the stadium.
They're drawing the lines right now, Mikey.
Well, the goalkeeper Jerome Prior has got the ball down for a free kick for offside, but yeah, just as Robbo said there, really good build-up play again from Ross County, right on the back of what we saw just before with the previous attack. Ronan Hale picked out Nisbet perfectly, and the timed run and finish was very good. Got to say, very
Goal's
good.
Goal's going to stand here. Goal's going to stand. So Ross County have the lead on the night and overall as they look to preserve their Premiership status. And it's an early salvo as well, coming inside 7 minutes. Huge moment.
Yeah, it's exactly what they needed. As I say, it'll calm them down a little bit. It'll get the crowd up behind them, and now the game will open up. Livingston will have to keep going. As I say, they started brightly, Livingston. You've got to say that Dave Martindale would have been delighted, but suddenly 2 quick attacks from Ross County showed what they're capable of, and this time Hale goes from goal taker to goal maker, and it's a wonderful ball into Nisbet, and it's a really cool, calm finish.
I mean, look, it really is quite incredible, because we were just talking before about how Ross County struggle to create.
And here comes Afeti, Michael, down the right. He's been challenged well by Fraser, who knocks it out for the throw-in. In fact, it's going to come back off the County man last, Michael.
But that again, you know, they pick out Afeti on the right-hand side. The moment before the goal where they had a nice bit of build-up play, they got the ball into the box. I mean, Robbo's seen plenty of County as well, and as have I, and they've always been competitive, but at times you struggle to see where the goals are coming from. So far, you're looking and going, by the way, they've got a bit about them here. And I always am surprised when Jordan White doesn't play, because I think he's great foil for the other types that they've got in their team. It's not to say you become one-dimensional. I just think he brings a good balance to the team.
4th goal of the season for Nisbet, and his most important to date for Ross County. Remember, the lowest scorers in the Premiership going up against the best defence in the Championship, but it is County who draw the first blood in this second leg, and David Martindale is furious with the concession of the goal, and you can see the frustration all over his face down there. Here come Livy. It's Pittman just turning it back to Brandon, the skipper, down the line for Finlayson, and Brandon knocks it off Kenna. Now for a Livy throw-in. They'll look to respond quickly here. Conceded late in the first leg, and they've now conceded early in the second, and this tie is turned. Finlayson with the throw, midway inside county territory, to Kelly, back to Finlayson. Poor touch allows Harmon to clear. First time into the Livy half, where it's knocked back to the goalkeeper by Fraser, who's tried to return it to him. Prior, he's dealt with it well, Fraser on the far side. Controls and knocks it back to Prior, who, well, he was kind of caught completely cold by his defence there when Hale's ball found Nisbet to the simple task of tapping Ross County into the lead. 2-1 in aggregate now.
I know the goal obviously changes things as well, but even in the beginning, the first moments, and Livy had started quite brightly, County have got a real energy about them. You can see the messages put over the importance of this game. They're shutting down and grafting.
Finlayson out to Smith, right hand side the county box, gets it in. It's a good, decent clearance there from Eli Campbell, breaks to the goal scorer Nisbet.
He's got to put a head in it. He's got to chip that over the top, Liam. Yeah. He's on the halfway line, he's onside, he's got the full Livy half to just drop a ball and let Ronan Hale go and run for it.
Yeah, and Hale, you fancied him beating the defender there, but it went straight to the Livy player, and now it's back with Prior, who plays it short to McGowan. That uber experienced central defensive partnership for Livingston was exposed at that goal. McGowan and Wilson, and a long ball down the right for Livy's knocked out into touch by Randall for a Livingston throw-in, and Ryan McGowan again involved at the back there at the start of that move, and it will be Muirhead over the throw, about level with the county penalty spot on the main stand side off to our right. We've played 11 minutes, County with a 1-0 lead on the night. Muirhead to Bolison again. Into the box it comes towards the right angle of the 6-yard box, headed behind there by Campbell, I think it was, and it will be a Livingston corner. Their second of the evening, but this time from this near side as they look to hit back quickly here. They won't want that to fester. In swinger from Muirhead, left-footed. Goalkeeper stands the back end of his goal as it comes in, headed away by White. Kept alive by Brandon at the edge of the box, and he rifles it high over the bar. Oh,
that's a chance.
Sat for him perfectly there. Actually, it's still difficult because he's outside the box, but what an opportunity it was.
I don't think it's that difficult. I think he's done the hard bit there. It's a good defensive clearance, first and foremost, and Brandon's done well. He's managed to get there in front of Nisbet, and he's knocked it forward about 5 yards, and the ball is just held up beautifully for him. I think he's got hit the target. He's 20 yards out, centre goal. His eyes have lit up there, and he just put it a yard over the top. It's a good chance.
It's no difficult for a striker of the ball like you, Robbo. For others,
mere mortals.
But that's an important point. I think somebody that's more accustomed to finding the back of the net than Jimmy Brandon, that is a really good opportunity, but just got under it, didn't get over it well enough. But I'd agree with Robbo, absolutely. I mean, it's sat perfectly, stepping onto it, nobody's really in his face. It's a big chance.
Scored an important goal in the semi-final against Partick Thistle in the second leg, early in the second half, when Thistle were still interested, and that killed the tie. Here's Lewis Smith on this near side, dances away from Harmon, knocks it forward to Muirhead. The break of the ball favours Pittman. He's trying to get on the left foot to shoot. He does, but he drags it wide. Good foot or so wide there, Scott Pittman. And how often do you see him pop up in or around the box and in a scoring position? But he didn't really catch it, and it goes past, trundles past the right-hand post, and it stays County 1, Livy 0, 2-1 to the home team in aggregate.
Another big opportunity. They get a wee. It was actually some decent football played there. Then they got a wee break of the ball, and then Pittman goes. Montara runs across him. You're thinking slip him in, and he takes it himself. But you know that'll settle Livingston down a wee bit. They say they've played some good stuff, and they're well in the game. And they say the goal's a blow. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And but listen, there's a lovely flow at the game so far, which is what we're after. We're hoping for a good match, and in the opening sort of 10 minutes or so here, we're certainly getting that.
It's far better than last Thursday, isn't it? Even just in the first 15 minutes or so.
Surface helps, does it?
Oh, I don't think there's any question. A good grass park will always beat any type of Astro, and this is certainly a good grass park.
Livy are replacing the Astro for the start of next season, which will be music to the ears of the detractors. That goes out for a throw-in over on the far side for Ross County. They don't appear to be in a big hurry to take it, but it eventually has been pulled up the line by Wright.
See on that point as well, I think from a player's perspective, it makes it, an Astro Park makes it more difficult to, you know, get players to join. I genuinely think you putting down a grass park makes it a more attractive proposition. So I don't think there are many players that would look at the Astro Park and not have some sort of doubt in their mind as to, do I really want to be going and playing 20 odd games a season on the Astro? I mean, Robbo may well disagree with it, but I don't think many players want to go and do that.
No, I've been consistent, Michael, in saying that if the Astro turfs are of good quality.
So breaking the ball potentially for Hale here, and Ryan McGowan, be careful, he slipped.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he slipped, but the ref, who's Nick Walsh,
If the Astros are
given the free kick.
Getting back to that, if the quality of the likes of Falkirk have got, Airdrie, etc., and they're well maintained, great. But when they're used, like the Livingston one, for example, Kilmarnock, they're used for the community as well, which is a big thing, then they're not as good. There's no, and I agree with you 100%. If it's a pitch of this quality all day long and twice on a Sunday, but I've also seen some poor pitches that are rutted and bumpy and fiery at this time of year as well. But as I say, this needs must sometimes, but you can't gumble with this surface.
There's a big switch there from Randall, but there's an offside over on the far side, which goes against Fete, and that will be a free kick to Livingston, who are behind in the match and the tie, and looking to respond here. Danny Wilson with a short free kick to his central defensive partner McGowan. Still lots of the game left. There's no panic stations at the moment for the visitors. As McGowan hits it long with the right foot, looking to get it in over the top. McKenna has done. Pittman couldn't quite get it past Nightingale, but Smith's onto it, onto the scraps, right hand side of the box, fires it across, and it's put behind for the corner there by Wright. He didn't know what was going on behind him, and he took no chances. It was an awkward ball to defend as well.
But it's poor from Ross County, because the top end of the park, I thought they were well structured. They forced Livy into a long ball, but then Pittman's run off the back of Noah Kennett, and he's all of a sudden, he's got the extra man Livy have in that attacking area just from a simple ball at the park. They've got to be far better set up and not allowing runners from midfield to be free.
Robbie Muirhead with the corner into the 6-yard area, headed away by Kenna. Hale picks up, facing his own goal at the edge of the box. Back to Kenna now with Hale. Hale looking to get the afterburners on. Brandon sticking with him. That goes out to play for a county throw-in there off Fraser.
That was a Livy ball.
I think Pittman as well, Michael, when the cross came in, was gutted because he glanced at it and missed it completely there. But yeah, right there, I don't understand there. I don't understand what the referee gave it, but the fourth official could have helped him out, because that was clearly a Livingston throw. The
fourth official's only got the spare shaving foam on the back of his trackies. That's all he's there for.
Bouncing ball comes all the way through to
He's actually, Michael, a confession, he's actually the brother of one of my ex-players at Inverness Cally Thistle. Made his debut the other week there, fair play to him as a Premier League referee, so good on him. Good.
Duncan Nicholson.
Duncan Nicholson, yeah. His older brother of Lewis, who played for Inverness, who unfortunately had to retire this week due to injury at the age of 21.
Well, that's terrible. 21.
Yeah, he's had 2 really bad cruciate knee injuries, unfortunately.
It's County on the ball on the far side here with Nisbet over on the touchline, midway inside the Livy half. Little dink ball into the penalty area is going to come to nothing. Just bobbles behind for the goal kick, which Prior will take. 18.5 minutes on the clock, and Don Cowie must be absolutely delighted. What a perfect start to the second leg it was when he saw Josh Nisbet tap the ball into the net to give his team the lead.
I think he'll be delighted with the scoreline, but Livingston, David Martindale won't be unhappy at how his team have responded to that goal.
There's again, I don't know, it's obviously the full length of the park here, but I'm watching Noah Kennett. He's got Pittman, but then as soon as the ball's played long, he's off the back. I don't know if Noah Kennett is just ball watching and he's not aware of where Pittman's moving, but that ball goes up. Pittman's off the back of him, and he all of a sudden is challenging with Nightingale there.
His problem, Michael, is I think he feels that the 3 central defenders should be perhaps picking him up, but they're not.
No, but when you look at, and I've been watching how they're setting up, they're being quite aggressive, they're getting forward, and the 3 centre halves are picking other folk up. And if what happens in the end, if Muirhead ends up going and challenging for one with Nightingale and Pittman's continuing to run, he could be through on goal. The midfielder's got to be aware of where he is.
Thrown for Livy, midway inside the county half on the near side. Finlayson with it, looking for Brandon, who gets away from Nisbet, but he can't get away from Randall, who's onto it now, and now he's bursting across the halfway line. Is Connor Randall, nobody in navy blue ahead of him, is to hold it up. Turns it back to White, side football with the right to the right hand side here, Nisbet. Checks in field away from Montagno. Then over to Akil Wright, right foot cross is good, it's headed away though by Finlayson. It was just a bit too high for White. Livy can't get it away. Brandon gives it straight to Kenna. Now it's Harmon. Harmon to White. Pushes it back out wide left. Harmon's onto it and he's fizzed it across the 6-yard line where Wilson clears. He'll come again, County here. Hale short to Kenna. He pokes it to Wright on the right hand side. Slips it through to the right of the box there. Nisbet trying to keep it in play. Has done. Plays it back across. The cry of handball as it came back off Fraser. And Livy clear their lines into the centre circle. Nightingale, brilliant play, steps away from Muirhead, drives forward, moves it to the left for Harmon, passes it forward to the left angle of the box for Hale. His ball finds its way all the way through into the box. White flicks on, and he can only turn it behind for the goal kick, and it will stay County 1, Livingston 0 on the night.
Just far more entertaining already, the game. You know, we're just over 20 minutes into it, but there's a greater pace, a greater intensity. Just, as I said, more entertaining. It feels like there are more goals here.
Well, from a Livingston point of view, they've got to hang on to the fact that this is a Ross County team that hasn't kept a clean sheet in nearly 3 months. And that has to affect the back line. No, it's a...
Yeah, but they're both going for it, Liam, because you're talking rightly so. Great defending for Nightingale. He took a chance, because Muirhead nicks that to the side. Pittman's up again, as Michael's mentioned 2 or 3 times already. But he was strong, believed in himself, and immediately started up the counter-attack, which is again, both Mars have mentioned tonight, the transitions are going to be key. But it's a brilliant flow to the game so far.
It's going from one end to the other right now, and it's Livingston in possession, and it's Kelly stepping across the halfway line, then rolling it back into the centre circle for Brandon. Turns it to his right for McGowan. Back to Jamie Brandon. Then to Wilson. Back to McGowan on this near side. He's got Finlayson. He tries to put it forward. It's blocked by Campbell, who finds Nisbet. It's a little bit slack from Livingston as White goes down, fouled by Wilson. Almost on the halfway line, and it will be a County free kick. David Martindale is a picture of utter frustration down there.
The front players for Ross County, wee Nisbet, Hale and White, their interchange and link-up has been better than I've seen for a wee while from Ross County. I've got to say, they look like they've got a wee bit about them here tonight, and Livy are no far off it either. They're well and truly in the tie. There's no doubt about it with only 1 goal, but certainly Ross County look like they've got a greater flow to that attacking play than I've seen in a good wee while. 3
out of the 10 times the playoffs have been contested since they were reintroduced in 13-14. We've seen the championship side come up. The other 7, obviously, the team in the top flight retaining their place there. And will it be the same? As it stands, it will be. Still plenty of this to go. That's a dreadful touch by Kelly. Hale's onto it. He's in the box and he scores! Oh, it's a disaster for Stephen Kelly. Ronan Hale onto it. If there's one man on this pitch you do not want to present that kind of gift to, it is Hale. 1 or 2 touches to set himself, and he drills it home. And Ross County have just moved a significant step closer to completing the hat-trick and staying in the top flight via the playoffs for the 3rd successive season. It is Ross County 2, Livingston 0, and 3-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, and that's, you could actually put a 1-yard circle around that spot. That's where Ronan Hale's last 3 goals here at the stadium have come from. He's been played in twice there. That's a terrible mistake. We talked about perhaps overplaying that little bit of an edge. They've closed it down. Kelly's been given the ball. He's took a very, very bad first touch. It's get nicked off him by Nisbet. Hale's in there, and unfortunately for Livingston, the form he's in, as we've said, there's no way he's missing that, and that is now a huge, huge mountain for Livingston to climb.
It's a sore one, isn't it? It really is. You get a feeling that could be a momentum shifter as well. You know, the other thing I was just going to say, when we talk about I was trying to make the point when the ball fell for Jimmy Brandon on the edge of the box. It's all right for the likes of Robbo. See if that had been Ronan Hill, it probably would have been in the back of the net. That opportunity that was for Livy at the other end. When he had the chance, Hale, you never doubted he was going to find the back of the net. Even though he was taking an extra touch to set himself, you still felt like he would have the composure and not panic to be able to slide it past Prior, and certainly it panned out that way.
It's a lovely finish, 18 for the season for Hale now, and he was driving down the right, helped by Nisbet, and behind for a Ross County corner here, and the roof is threatening to cave in here for Livingston. Next goal in this tie, if there's to be one, is going to be crucial. But County have an opportunity to potentially put the tie to bed right here and now.
There are more goals in this game. I'd be surprised if it finished like this.
And it comes from Harman. It's a big loopy one towards the left of the 6-yard box. White wins the header. Nodded for goal by Nightingale. What a chance! Albeit the flag's gone up against Kenna. It was. He's got the goal gaping in front of him. He's going to be absolutely delighted there was an offside flag there.
Livingston need to hang on now. They need to shut up shop here. They need to cool everyone down. Do what they've done early on. Get the ball up the other end of the park. Kill the momentum that County have got, because the way it's going at the moment, you could see County adding another goal here, because I say they've got the bit between their teeth. We said that about, you know, have that aspect of it. No excuses. They've come out. They've closed down. They know Livingston are going to pass out. Michael made the point of them being a much better football team, but they're picking them off now and they're putting them under severe pressure, and that's where that second goal's come from. And as you say, I'm with Michael here. There's no way this game's finishing 2-0.
Long throw-in coming up from Muirhead level with the County 18-yard line. Into the box it comes, away by Campbell. Can only get it as far as Muirhead again on the left foot. Bends it in, it's too high for Montagno. County head clear, clever cushion header by Hale. Gets the angle onto it, out to that right-hand side for Efete's long clearance. Goes into the Livingston half where Pittman twists and turns it back to his goalkeeper at the edge of his box. Prior finds Finlayson on this near side. Long ball forward, looking to try and get Smith involved. Headed away by Nightingale. It's now with Muirhead, who wins the throw-in off Harman. Livingston need the next goal, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, they do, but you go back to, we talk about Championship, Premiership there, that you might have got away with a touch like in the Championship, and the fact that they might not have been closed down as quickly, and it might have fallen to a forward, no disrespect to any forward in the Championship that might not have had the form and composure that Hale's on at the moment. You can't get away with that at this level. Kelly will be distraught, but as I say, right now Livingston need to just calm down. They've got an opportunity to throw the ball in the box here. If they can get the next goal back again, it's back in the melting pot. But right now County are well on top of them.
We played almost 28 minutes. Livingston have a free kick in an attacking position, about 6 yards from this near side touchline, just beyond the midway point of the County half. It's the man who made the mistake, Kelly, over it. Right-footed, swings it towards the back post. It is won by a Livy head, and there's a volley at goals blocked there. It was Muirhead on the left foot. He's going to have to settle for a corner on this near side. He got plenty on that, didn't he?
It was a good strike. It really was. But it's not as if Livy have been really bad. It's not as if they've played poorly, which I suppose is something for them to cling on to, that you still feel like if they can just keep their wits about them.
Muirhead with it towards the back post. It's a County head. Randall who gets it clear. Kelly keeps it alive, but he can't quite find Montagno. There's a poor touch in defence by Efete. Montagno on it now, pushes it back to Kelly. Down the line for Montagno. Level with the County 18-yard line. Montagno looking to work a 1-2. And it's put behind for another corner by County.
Yeah, they've actually, bizarrely, they've responded really well to both goals. They've come back into it and playing away, and say that they've not played too badly. They said David Martin will be raging with both goals. The room afforded to Hale for the cutback, but the mistake is a real knock in the solar plexus.
And in comes the corner, away by White towards his 18-yard line. Fraser, a nice bit of control, gets it back out to Kelly. Gets his cross in. It's a good header away by Campbell. And then Finlayson goes all the way back to, or rather Smith goes all the way back to his keeper. Prior dinks it back towards Smith on this near side. Former Hamilton youngster beaten to it by Randall, who can only put it out for a Livingston throw-in. Level with the edge of the centre circle in the county half, right in front of Don Cowie, and it's bowled back to McGowan, who'll then shift it to the left of the centre circle for Stephen Kelly. He's reacted well to the mistake. You'd think his head would be swimming after that. He's got it into the box there for Pittman, but Nightingale's there to close the door, and he dinks it out for a throw into Livy over on that left-hand side. It has been a good response by Livingston, hasn't it? Because that is a double blow, losing those 2 goals.
No, it has. That's what I was saying in terms of they've not played poorly, but yeah, more specifically, right after the 2 goals, they've been all right. They've been fine, but the key is that they just stay in the game now. Because if they fall further behind, then it's it's well and truly good night.
Well, given what happened here 2 years ago, I'm ruling nothing out. There's a chance for Smith. Right-hand side of the box, going towards the byline. Down he goes. Ball was won by Harmon though, and cleared by Campbell. And out for a throw-in on this near side to Livy again. This time Finlayson's over it. Muirhead might be coming back out to take one of his long throws again. In fact, that is exactly what's going to happen. It was me and you were here, yeah. Michael, wasn't it? Two years ago. I don't think John was with us for that one. Were you? Partick Thistle one?
No, I was here last year. But sometimes you think Livingston could just mix it up a wee bit, go short. Because County have dealt with every single one so far.
They got another corner from Muirhead's long throw. So they'll keep the pressure on here with 14 to half time. And Robbie Muirhead will come out to take again on the Livingston right as they attack the goal to the right. It's going to be an in-swinger from Muirhead. Plenty to hit in the middle in yellow and black. And it comes towards the back post. Amisa thought about coming, changed his mind, and a header at goal. And it's a good job he changed his mind, because he clutches onto it under his crossbar. 2 Livy players have collided with each other, and they're both going to, looks like, need some attention here from the medics. Amisa held on. He's a towering figure in that Ross County goal, and 6 foot 6 of him. And he thought about coming out towards his 6-yard line there, and then it was a little moonwalk back towards his goal, and it was a good job he did.
Yeah, and there was a quick step forward again to recapture the ball after he sort of fumbled it. Just a wee bit moments of nerves in the Ross County backline, because the balls that Livy have put in from corners have been pretty good so far. Every one of them has been a competitive challenge from Livingston. I mean, when you look at, there's 2 big sides, but I would say that County are the bigger. Livy have got a few guys in there that can go and compete, but Ross County as a whole, you're looking at, they're a big team. But the balls in the box so far have looked like they're potentially going to cause some problems.
Well, Livy haven't lost any of the Premiership playoff matches that they've taken part in, including last Thursday. Of course, came up in 2018, and beaten Dundee United narrowly in the semis, and then going on to eventually comfortably beat Partick Thistle in the final, relegated the Jags. They've been seen at the top table since. Of course, Livy's stay there ended a year ago, giving themselves the chance to bounce back at the first time of asking, but they are 2 goals adrift here. Looks as though the Livingston players will be okay. Finlayson was one of them. He's just jogging up the touchline in front of us, so he was the one who had to come off, and he's back on. And Amisa will launch it forward with the right foot. Plenty behind that, it's almost up at the edge of the opposition box. Lovely touch back there. White to Kenna, now it's Harmon.
No chance, it came running off the
It's a brilliant touch.
It came running off his shin pad.
Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, well, let's just be accurate though. It landed perfectly for Noah Kenna.
It looked good to a layman like me.
Robert, what do you think happened there?
Liam, I think you're still got your goggles on.
Enough of that.
Aberdeen celebratory weekend. I'm in Michael's camp here.
Eli Campbell will take the throw in on this near side, level with the Livy 18-yard line. Main stand side, County left, gets it back from Harmon to Campbell, back to Harmon, across it comes, cleared by McGowan, and out for a throw in on this near side, level with the 6-yard line this time for County. David Martindale down there, he's been furious for most of this first half, which has got just over 10 minutes left of. Ball up the line, Livingston win it back, cleared up towards Kelly, who then looks to feed it forward there to Muirhead. Controls it well on the right knee, he's out in the touchline now, no real option other than to win a throw-in, which he does. And he's going to leave it here for Finlayson. Former Northern Ireland under-21 international, though born in Glasgow. He's a youngster at Rangers as he bowls it forward. It comes off the head of Wright, back towards his own box though, flicked on by Pittman, and then out it goes for a throw into Livy on this near side. And for the umpteenth time, there might be a chance for Robbie Muirhead here to try and find the county penalty box, though Finlayson has taken this one. He's taken it short. As John was hoping they'd mix things up, they have done on this occasion. Smith with a decent ball in, it's too high for Montagno though. It comes off the county defender and out for a Livingston corner over on that left hand side. It is 2-0 county on the night and 3-1 in aggregate.
Yeah, they're mixed up a wee bit. It's a decent ball in, but and I think the man we mentioned, Montagno, we've not really seen much of him tonight. That's, you know, David Martindale will want to get him into the game if he can.
It's Kelly's corner, it's very deep. It's looking for Danny Wilson, who is brilliant in the air, but it's headed away just before it got to him. McGowan wins another corner on the near side off Nightingale. How Martindale would love his team to score before half-time. Get themselves a foothold in this second leg. The second goal in particular was an absolute nightmare for his team. Muirhead's corner, left-footed, it's a poor one to the near post, so there was nobody in yellow, and it's cleared by Kenna on the post. Livingston will recycle it, it's back to Pittman in the centre circle, rolls it to the left for Fraser, long up and under ball with the left foot to the right-hand side of the box. Headed away by Harman, picked up by Muirhead. He goes back to McGowan. McGowan with the right foot looking for Montagno. Wright got there first and his touch takes it out for a Livy throw. Down by the corner flag over on that far side, the Livy left. Montagno's going to leave this for Robbie Fraser. He's got Pittman moving towards him, but instead he goes to Kelly. It's back with Fraser. He passes it all the way back to Wilson, left of the centre circle. High ball pumped into the county box, headed away by Campbell to the edge of the area. Pittman tries to get something onto it and does. Montagno, is he fouled in the edge of the box? No, says referee Walsh. And then the slip from Fraser on the far side, he manages to get it back to Danny Wilson. Despite that, it's a long left foot ball to the right. It's headed down towards the edge of the D by Finlayson, and then Nightingale with a heavy touch comes off Kelly and ricochets all the way back to Amisa. It is Ross County 2, Livingston 0 on the night.
Well, I think obviously Don Cowie will now want to see this through at half-time without any Livingston goal to pull them back in the tie, because it couldn't have gone better for them. An early goal to settle the nerves, then a dreadful mistake, they capitalise on it. And as we've both said, Livingston in the game playing a lot of good stuff, but they've not really tested Jordan Amisa with the header that he sort of kind of touched up in the air and then grabbed it again. But apart from that, he's not really had anything to do. So for all Livingston's good play, they need to start to try and test the goalkeeper, because if they continue to throw high balls in the box, Michael just pointed out, you know, there's about 6 or 7 6'2", 6'3", 6'4 players in this Ross County team. They'll enjoy that. There'll not be a problem for it. They'll battle for it all day. But you know, Livingston need to get to half time at what's 2-0. In their respect, they'll want to get one back. But as you said already, Liam, the next goal in this game, if there is to be one, has to come to Livingston if they're going to have any chance.
Yeah, they've seen north of 60% of the ball in this first half, Livy. It is County who have a stranglehold on things, and actually on the scoreline relatively comfortable in the tie. And going into the closing minutes at Ammanvale on Thursday, you'd have forgiven Don Cowie for signing up for a 1-0 defeat and just take your chances tonight in the second leg at home. They got that penalty, it's made all the difference. Here's a chance for Smith, gets away from one challenge, up towards the edge of the county box, lovely play, driving into the box, is brilliant from Smith, and he pulls Livy back to within one, with an outstanding goal. And it's come at a brilliant time as well, just over 5 minutes to the break. And the 600 Livingston fans up the other end of Victoria Park burst into life. A brilliant solo goal from Lewis Smith. And it is Ross County 2, Livingston 1 and 3-2 in aggregate, and it is game on again in the Highlands.
Shake about. Oh my word. You talk about, you know, testing the goalkeeper. He tested the entire back three. He went waltzing past one, looked like he was getting knocked over, skipped past the second was momentum. The best bit was the third bit, a wee step over, took the ball away, and he rifled it, and what a goal that is. And as you've said there now, Liam, game on.
Sets things up brilliantly, it really does. It just adds to the sense and the perception that it's been a good game. It's been a really good game. In stark contrast to Thursday, it's grown and grown. It's just bubbling along really nicely.
Yeah, there's another thing to talk about, Michael, as well, and it's something I've said over the years. Tonight's basically a one-off. Why not do that? Why not just have two semis of final like the English system? You maybe get more games like this rather than the sort of cagey first leg affair.
Well, yeah, you would have to play that neutral territory, wouldn't you? But I guess there are options with that, and it wouldn't surprise you if they go down that road. I was talking during the final on Saturday about extra time potentially being something that will be abolished at some point in perhaps the near future. But anyway, the long and the short of it is that Lewis Smith has just hauled Livingston back into this playoff.
Yeah, honestly, just as Rob was saying, a brilliant goal from Smith. It's you initially picked the ball up, you're thinking to yourself that one of the midfielders are going to get a nick on the ball. They didn't, and then it just became him in full flight, and it looked as if the defenders were anxious and nervous and trying to do something, and giving away a free kick and then a penalty kick. And that's that just goes to show you when you've got an attacker that is willing to go and commit and go and take players on. It's the worst thing for defenders. They do not want people running at them, especially at pace like that. I think that's the perfect example of it.
Well, he was part of the Aki's squad that was promoted into the Championship last year via the playoffs, beat Alloa and Cali Thistle in those playoffs. But what a special moment it was for him, and it will give these Livingston players all kinds of hope now that their promotion dream is still alive and kicking. It is now, by virtue of that magnificent solo goal. And it's Livy with a throw in on the near side. Suddenly it just feels 3 minutes shy of the interval here, at least to the end of the 45, as though the pendulum is swinging a little bit towards the Championship side.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's an evenly balanced game. But I'm just going to say about Lewis Smith, that's another example of the good recruitment that David Martindale's put in at Livy in the last year. When you look at the last season in the top flight, they became a bit of a disparate mob.
Here he is again, Smith. He gets his cross ball in. It's a good one. Montagno's header, and Anita holds on. Well, he needed all of his 6'6" frame there, because Montagno's header was looping towards going underneath the crossbar there. And it will stay 2-1 County on the night and 3-2 in aggregate.
Just didn't get enough on it. Just needed to get a little bit more.
Just a bit more on it, but you're right. The pendulum in terms of tonight's game has swung again back into Livingston's favour, but County still hold that lead. But as we've said, we hoped we were going to get a free flow and attacking game of football. We've had it everywhere. We've had two really good goals, a huge mistake, chances for either side. It's not often you say the Championship team would have the lion's share of possession. We're getting that. It's so finely balanced, and it's so polar opposite of what we witnessed on Thursday.
It's a good game, and Jordan White's been fouled by McGowan. It was into the book for that. Free kick County up the pitch here, but 10 yards from the near side touchline. In the attacking third, a chance to get Navy shirts in the box here, Michael.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of that height and that physicality that Ross County have got. But just touching on the Lewis Smith point I was making before about, you look at the recruitment that David Martindale's done, and I do think, looking at it last year, they became a bit of a group of players that there was no real identity to them. Now you look at that team, and bar a few, obviously it's a real strong Scottish core there of good players, and they're playing better football now as well.
It's going to be 3 minutes added on. We're into the 45th minute as Hale's free kick comes in, but he's missed everyone through that corridor between the goalkeeper and the defenders, and it's a goal kick to Livingston.
It drives you nuts. As a coach, I've said over the years to my players, half of you have to be across the post and the other half have to be beyond the post, and that way you're covering all bases. there's only one person made a run there, and it's beyond him, in front of him. There's 4 or 5 big boys standing at the back there, never going to get him in there. That's a decent ball.
Livy come forward, and now it's Montano at the edge of the box, dancing feet, rolls it to the right for Smith, inside the area, drags it away from the defender, pulls it across, a little flick from Muirhead. Nobody in yellow on the 6-yard line, and County clear. It's a good game, this. McGowan down the right-hand touchline for Smith, comes off Harmon, then back off Smith last, and that's a throw-in to County as we head into that stoppage time, which, as I said, is going to be 3 minutes. Mikey.
Livy didn't want the half to finish. They've got the bit between their teeth here and out, and almost perversely, it's Ross County is probably thinking, please just get to half time without any more goals, because definitely Livingston are the side that you can see, you can sense it. They've got their tails up just now.
Finlayson wins a throw in for his team, level with the edge of the centre circle in the County half on this near side. And Finlayson is over it. Well, certainly that Smith goal will have changed perhaps what David Martindale is going to be saying to his players at the interval, because 2 goals behind, it's still a relatively long way back. But now, as the offside flag goes up against Livingston,
what that goal does, it takes the panic out of Livingston, because you get a sense that 2-goal advantage, especially at half-time, there's still loads of time to go, and I would imagine David Martindale would have been saying to them, look, just get the next goal. But the longer it creeps along, the more of a panic starts to set in, whereas now you can just get a sense they've performed pretty well in the first half here. There is only 1 goal in it, and David Martindale will be saying, look, nothing to be panicking about, just keep playing the way you're playing and chances will come.
But does it inject panic into County?
A little bit, of course it does, because they're cruising, thinking we've got a bit of breathing space. Then it's what, and it boils down to what's deciding the game at the moment. One mistake. So therefore County will be thinking, we can't make that mistake, and Livingston will be thinking they might just make that mistake. So that's the difference. I know we can't, but had you taken the Kelly mistake out of the game and it was 1-1, you'd be saying, not a lot in it, and there isn't a lot in it, but it's just been great. It's a breath of fresh air, and as you say, we're still a minute or so to go, and 45 plus to, there's still no real clue who's going to go up yet.
Well, it could be a long night. It's headed away by McGowan, although if the pace keeps up like this, then perhaps there'll be nobody complaining. County have it on the far side with Will Nightingale. He's midway inside the Livingston half. We're into the final of the 3 minutes that were added. And then on the far side, Ifete tumbles. He's not getting the free kick though. Livingston get it clear. County launch it back down the far side, but it finds touch, and Livy have the ball over there. And it's been a pretty breathless first half to this second leg. As it stands, Ross County retaining their place in the top flight. Here's Ronan Hale to the edge of the box looking for Nisbet. Smashed away though by his compatriot Ryan McGowan. Back come County. It's flicked in towards the edge of the box, but Wilson gets it back to Triar, who pulls it out to this near side, but he can't find Finlayson. David Martindale's got his head in his hands. Here come County with Hale. Not a great ball. Pittman prevents it getting to Nisbet. Livy can't get it away, and suddenly it's County looking to restore their 2-goal lead before the interval. The final seconds. In fact, that's the 3 minutes up. Nick Walsh will be blowing for half-time any second now. Indeed, there you go. The first half of the second leg's over. The tie's still in the melting pot here, though Ross County were doing their best to finish it before the half-time interval in the second leg. Taking the lead through Josh Nisbet. Ronan Hale's been the centre point for County. Set that one up as the Premiership side struck first in 7 minutes. And then on 24, the mistake by Stephen Kelly at the edge of his own box. He had it nicked off him, pickpocketed by Nisbet, who managed to slip it through to Hale, who fired County 2 goals in front, 2-0 on the night and 3-1 in aggregate. But Lewis Smith's wonderful solo mazy run down the left-hand side. He drove into the box and he managed to smash it across the bows of Misa into the far reverse right-hand corner to give Livingston all kinds of hope that they can yet be promoted at the first time of asking following their relegation 12 months ago. Half-time in Dingwall at the first half of the second leg. It is Ross County 2, Livingston 1 and 3-2. County lead on aggregate.
Oh, what a goal! All the action.
What a moment!
From all the biggest games.
This is Sports Sound.
Oh, it's a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Another goal!
This Wednesday night, the Key Sessions present Deacon Blue in concert.
Good evening, people of Embra.
Hear timeless classics and brand new music taken from their incredible Usher Hall set. And afterwards, I'll be in conversation with the band's very own Ricky Ross. That's Deacon Blue on the Key Sessions with me, Roddy Hart. Wednesday night from 8.
Thank you.
On BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound live here on BBC Radio Scotland. You can watch the highlights of this game, extended highlights on Sports Scene tonight, 11:15 on BBC One Scotland. And in the week ahead, Monday to Friday, of course, the Scottish Football Daily podcast is published, and live women's football on Friday nights on the telly. Women's Nations League, Scotland against Austria. We are midway through the second leg of this Premiership playoff final. For a fair chunk of it, it felt more like Raith Rovers than Partick Thistle in terms of Ross County and their playoff exploits over the past couple of seasons. But Livingston were always in the game. They were always a threat. They certainly created, if not the best chances or the better chances, they certainly created more chances. And Lewis Smith has given them some hope with that magnificent goal. What a wonderful solo goal it was. That has reduced the leeway after Nisbet and Hale had put County up by 2-0. Quite apart from the drama and the tension and the anxiety and everything else that the fans will be feeling, John, what we're all being treated to is a right good game of football, aren't we?
Yes, that's the simple way to say it, Richard. It's been a wonderful, wonderful watch so far. And it's well already. It's probably got 3 or 4 times more highlights for tonight's package show than Thursday got in the entire 90 odd minutes. But no, you're bang on. If you break the game down, Livingston started really well. The first 6-7 minutes, and then County break, the ball gets cut out, and then they break again a minute later. Wonderful run from Hale, and it's a tremendous pick out. Yeah, and Josh Nisbet's got in there, perfect timing to side foot the ball home from 7 yards. And you thought that'll give County the big boost they needed, but Livy came back again, started to play a few bits and bobs, had a chance for Jamie Brandon, 20 yards out, got to hit the target, it's an easy strike, he lifts it a yard over the bar, then Pittman got through and scuffed one wide, and you're thinking, well, they're still in the game here. And then, you know, the defining moment of the first half, the ball's went to Kelly, it's a very, very poor first touch, he's robbed by Nisbet, who nicks it to Hale, and he slams it home. You think, oh my goodness, you know, I said it myself, there's a mountain for Livingston to climb, but they started getting back at it again. They came into it. Danny Wilson header was well said by Misa, and they kept going and kept going, but you didn't really see them opening up. And then the moment of the first half there, magnificent Lewis Smith picking it up, and he just basically glided past 3, maybe even 4 Ross County defenders before his last touch just took it wide of the right centre back, and he absolutely drilled it. A daisy cutter, bottom left hand corner, 2-1, and suddenly the whole mood in Dingwall changed. The Livy fans went up, the County fans were a wee bit down, you know, and suddenly Livingston believed they had an opportunity. Montano just about got a header there that went for a corner, and Livingston are fighting their way back into it. And we said that the next goal at 2-0, the third goal, had to come in the game, had to come to Livingston, and goodness me, it hasn't half changed the mood, but it really, really has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful spectacle, wonderful game to watch. It's ebbed and flowed, end to end, you know, little half chances here and there. And as I said, the difference between the two teams right now is that one mistake from Liam Kelly, but there's still plenty of stuff to come in this second half. It really, really has been a joy to watch, and I'm hopeful we'll get exactly the same in the second 45 plus, probably these days at least 5 minutes, to see who's going to get that last place in the Premiership.
Yeah, and you've got to say that they might have just been a little bit, if only for a minute or two. They've bounced back really well, Livingston. That was a real sickener, particularly the horrible way they conceded that second goal. But my goodness, they've shown an awful lot of spirit on top of everything else.
Yeah, they never. And the good thing about it is they didn't change their style. We touched on it at the top of the programme, Michael in particular, about how they're a far better football team, and people who have seen Livingston in the Premiership for the last 5 or 6 years would have seen a big, strong, attritional team who closed the opposition down, launched balls into the box, and went for big lads trying to get a nick on the cord, trying to win games 1-0 or just doing enough to win the matches. Whereas this season they've come down, and Dave Martindale's rebuilt. He's got a team now that has to go out and play, has to go out and attack teams in the Championship, which they've done all season. They've scored plenty of goals, and you get that, and that's what it looks like now. They look like a team who are comfortable with the ball. They want to pass it to feet. They've got a willing runner in Pittman who's got behind many times, as Michael's mentioned. He's got in there and nearly got through 2 or 3 more times. Muirhead leads the line well. Montero and Smith in the wide areas are getting in, but there's lots to admire about them. They do knock it about. They mix their game up really well. Short, then long. Get the ball in the wide areas. They're throwing decent corners in to go and attack, although County are well equipped to deal with that. But I think they've been going into the Championship. Well, financially it's a blow to them. Football-wise, it's allowed them to breathe. It's allowed them to evolve and allowed them to develop this new style. And I'll tell you what, it's a lovely style to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thoroughly enjoying watching both teams, it's got to be said. And we've certainly seen, just in terms of, Don Cowie said beforehand, didn't we? We need to play better. We need to play better football. Well, they've done that as well during the first 45.
Listen, Richard, I said before, we spoke about, on open all mics when we finally found out on the last day of the season that it was going to be Livingston and Ross County. All of the pundits were saying they fancy Livingston, they fancy Livingston, they fancy Livingston, and with good knowledge of it, because Livingston were on a run and hardly lost a game. County were on a run of no wins in 8, which went to no wins in 9 after the first leg. But it's difficult sometimes to see, having been involved in it as a manager, being involved in it as a director of football and as fans. The Premiership team are always going to come good at some stage. They're always going to have an opportunity. And they are sharp. They are a bit sharper to the ball at times, especially County have come back here feeling a lot more comfortable. They're on the grass. It's a magnificent surface, and it's been, by the way, it's not a surface that doesn't suit Livingston.
No, they've enjoyed it.
They've really enjoyed it. So that part of it's done there, and at 2-0 you're thinking it's just that wee bit of extra experience, that wee bit of higher intensity football they're used to is going to see County through here. But I tell you what, the bravery of Livingston to keep coming back. They've got their goal now, and as we say, we now go into a second half where, yes, you still got to favour Ross County. They're the home side, they're the Premiership team, they're 2-1 up, but this tie is a long way from being finished.
Well, you think back 2 years, and then they were, of course, trailing to Partick Thistle. It got even worse, and then eventually they pulled off the great escape and made it through the skin of their teeth in the penalty shootout last season. Well, they were 2-1 up from the game in Kirkcaldy against Raith Rovers, 1-0 up at the break. So a 2-goal advantage at that point, and then scored immediately afterwards, and that was it, done and dusted. I don't think anyone could confidently say that they know for sure how this one is going to turn out. Livingston with the advantage on Thursday night, right up until the 5th minute of stoppage time when they got the penalty, did Sir Ross County, and you've got to say Ronan Hale smashed it into the bottom corner. He scored again this evening. That followed the opening goal, which was nicely tucked away by Josh Nish. But got to say, I thought Hale looked offside as he played the ball across, but they took their time, they drew the lines, and they're able to confirm that Ronan Hale was indeed onside. When he created that one, he then became the finisher of the second. For a spell there, you began to wonder if that was it, done and dusted, that County might just see it through. But Livingston have shown great resilience. They've played very well over the course of the 45 minutes so far, and they have certainly given themselves a chance. One thing that has certainly shone out to me is County get the ball, the goalkeeper gets the ball, they're going long every single time. They're not trying to play it from the back, whereas Livingston have been, and of course Stephen Kelly getting caught out. Fair to the youngster, and he's got a bit of experience now, Stephen. He didn't shy away from the ball thereafter. He's been involved. They have produced a lot of very good football. They've had a few moments where they have troubled Amisa, and of course Lewis Smith with that magnificent goal has breathed life back into Livingston hopes. The fans who had been very noisy early on had certainly quietened down. David Martindale was looking somewhat dejected for a period of time there. We can see him bouncing around generally in the technical area there, but he has been given renewed hope. Those players have. And Michael, we are set for what promises to be an absolutely barnstorming 45 minutes, aren't we?
Yeah, I would suggest so, because the first half was really good, and I'm hopeful as well, but I don't see how that dynamic is going to change too much in the second half. Perhaps it becomes even more open as Livingston in particular keep their foot down. I thought they were good. I thought they were really good. And Ross County, as I was saying, probably the first part of that half, they certainly looked like they had more attacking threat than I've seen from them in a wee while. So it sets itself up for what should be a very, very entertaining second half, and perhaps a later finish than you would particularly like, Richard.
Hey, if it happens, it happens, and it will just be another glorious chapter in the pantheon of Scottish football. We can take nothing for granted, absolutely nothing for granted in this incredible game that we all love. Jamie Brandon has led the Livingston players back out. Still no sign of Ross County. David Martindale's down there, deep in conversation with Brian Rice as the Livingston substitutes leave the pitch. Of course, Andrew Shinnie among the Livy substitutes. I wonder if it's going to be a double celebration over the course of the last 48 hours for the Shinnie family after his brother Graham led Aberdeen to Scottish Cup glory at the weekend. His time might yet come. We don't know at this stage who the big hero will be on the night. Will it be one of those Livy players? Will it be one of the county stars who are just making their way back out onto the pitch? And they hold the narrowest of advantages. They lead on aggregate by 3-2. It's 2-1 on the night. The second half about to get up and running. Full live coverage here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with John Robertson, Michael Stewart and Liam McLeod.
2014 Hamilton came up relegating Hibs. The following year Motherwell kept Rangers in the second tier, and it was Kilmarnock overcoming Falkirk. The year after that one, before Hamilton edged Dundee United in 2017. Then it was Livy's turn against Partick Thistle. St Mirren saving their skins on penalties against United in 2019. Dundee relegating Kilmarnock in 21. St Johnstone overcoming Cally Thistle in 22. County have saved themselves the last 2 years against Partick Thistle and Raith Rovers respectively. So the SPFL season, which got underway on Friday the 2nd of August, with Falkirk beginning what was a romp to the title by beating Queen's Park in the opening day of the championship season, indeed the SPFL campaign. And it comes down to these 45 minutes to round everything off here in Dingwall as daylight begins to fade, as the Staggies get the second half underway, left to right in the navy blue and white and red, with Livingston in their yellow and black. No changes at the start of the second half as the long ball for County's cleared. They're at the edge of his own box by Finlayson. This bit almost got onto the scraps there, but it's going to be picked up by Finlayson down the right-hand touchline there for Livy to Smith. Forward to Pittman as Livy go right to left in this second half towards the academy end, and it's out on that far side for a throw-in to the visitors, which Pittman takes quickly. Now it's Smith, rolls it to the edge of the box for Kelly. Ball forwards, cut out by Akil Wright, and won back brilliantly by Wilson on Hale. Drives forward, gets the ball into the County box, headed away, bouncing at the edge of the area. Randall can't get it clear though, and it's Kelly forcing it forward. There's a deflection over the bar. Well, it was Smith's effort, and he's again looking as though, had that not been deflected, or even with the deflection, that it was pretty close.
Well, I think the deflection was going to help it there, because Amisa had committed to going to his right, and it's deflecting. It's went about a couple of feet, if anything, over the bar, lands on the top of the net there. But what, again, similar to the first half, what a really good start from the visitors.
Muirhead takes the corner into the box. It's headed away by Kenna. And then Harman driving forward, getting onto it and playing it forward towards Hale, but Brandon wins it back, and now he's driving forward down the left. Livingston is starting like a train here. In comes the cross, breaks to the edge of the D for Smith. Those passes wayward, he couldn't play it out to Muirhead. It's now with Campbell, but the referee sounded his whistle because Harman's hurt himself. I think that was in trying to get the ball cleared just a moment ago. So it's a Misan goal for County. Wright, Nightingale, Campbell at the back, Ifeti, Kenna, Randall and Harman across the middle. Nisbet supporting White and Hale. For Livy, Prior in goal, Brandon, McGowan, Wilson and Fraser, Finlayson, Pittman, Kelly, Smith, Montagno, Muirhead. And there's a problem here for George Harman, John, by the looks of things, couple of minutes into the second half.
Listen, it was a frantic, start there. As I say, Livingston, they shot deflected on, there's bodies everywhere, try to get a flick on, try to hook it away, and Harman's it's a full bloody challenge there. He got whacked into by, I think it was Smith, but listen, that's what you expect. It's cup final aspect to it. Everybody's getting stuck in about each other, and it's brilliant. Honestly, it's just been. I mean, even that, the atmosphere that first couple of minutes in the second half got was like a different, completely different species from what we saw Thursday. It was quiet. It was attritional. But tonight's just been brilliant. Both teams have just gone at it, and will continue to go at it.
It's a County team that has proven all season that they can't really defend properly. So Livingston, I think, conceded 2 themselves, which is quite unusual for them over the course of the season, really, but particularly the most recent months of the campaign, as they threaten to come up automatically. It's bowled back to Danny Wilson, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Prior clears. And County trying to win it back in the midfield. It was out for a throw-in, which Fraser's taken quickly, looking for Montagno. It's the Colombian down the left-hand side. Checks his run, and he's got 2 around him, and eventually it's he who commits the foul, and Ross County have got the free kick. But they've managed to score a couple of goals this evening, County, and they'd only scored more than once in their last 12 matches. So now 3-2 defeat to St Mirren in mid-April. So managing to score a couple of times has come at a good time for Don Cowie. So Misa prepares to take this free kick for County deep inside his own half. Long ball with the right foot up towards the edge of the Livy box. McGowan's there to prod it to his left for Fraser, who clears into the County halves, flicked on by Muirhead, but it's going to come all the way through to Amisa. You just suspect that we have got plenty more drama to come between now and full time. And in the 50th minute here, County 2-1 up on the night.
Well, having done most of the games for Oakville Mike's, Liam, there's always been late drama in Dingwall. The amount of goals that have been scored in the final 15 minutes.
And Ronan Hale going for a spectacular effort, though he was in an offside position, despite the fact he managed to get the shot away. It went over the bar.
It's offside, it doesn't matter, but I'm surprised he tried to leather it. Striker like him, I'm expecting there's an awareness of where everybody is in moments like that, and Prior was well off his line. All he needed to do was really just get a bit of height in it, dink it over him. Instead he tried to leather it. As I said, it was a moot point because he was offside, but I'm surprised with that finish.
Nisbet slipping it out to Jordan White over on the left, back down the line, but it's launched forward by the now recovered Harman. Now it's with Hale, who's looking to get it through to Nisbet. The keeper changes his mind about coming. It's Nisbet across the face of goal and wide. Well, it was similar to Lewis Smith in the first half, that left-hand side of the box at the jail end. But this time it's dragged wide of the right-hand post across the keeper, and it stays County 2, Livy 1.
I think the linesman put his flag up there, but I'm surprised at that because I thought he looked on.
No, he was on, Michael. He just the linesman was just giving the by kick signal. But that's what was said earlier. At this level, if you make a mistake, at championship level, you might well get away with it, but not here because there is the quality And that was Livy nearly shooting himself in the foot again.
Really poor touch by Conor Randall, and in the follow-up, trying to recover the situation, he's brought Montano down, level with the edge of the centre circle, in the county half, left to centre, and Stephen Kelly waits to take. Be desperate for Livingston to be promoted, then you can forget all about the error that right now is separating the two teams in the tie. It's the Livingston number 10 who's over this. Instructions coming from the Livy boss down below us. Kelly floats it to the right hand side of the box. The header's won by Finlayson, but he can only head it behind for the goal kick harmlessly. It will stay County 2, Livy 1, and 3-2 to the Premiership side, looking to save their skins in the playoff final for the third successive season. Ramisa taking his time over this. He was initially brought to the club on a really short-term deal. He extended at the end of the season. Now he's signed for the next couple of campaigns. The big German, long ball forward with the right foot. Bobbles between White and McGowan's heads. It's going to break to Harmon on the left-hand side. Hale lays it back towards him first time, but sliding in Pittman to put it out for a throw-in over there for County. The floodlights on here at Victoria Park now. And it's throw-in to Ross County over on that left-hand side. They got a man down. Is it Harmon down again? Came into the starting 11 for Don Cowie this evening, and it might be they're going to have to make a change here. Zach Ashworth, who dropped out of the team to make way for Harmon, is going to have to come on. So a little bit of a blow for County, John, given the experience that Harmon has, not just of playing for this County side, but in these playoff games.
Yeah, but he's not featured that heavily in the last 2-3 months. I think he's been injured, and he's come in. Ashworth could come in and play centre back and push Campbell out. They've done that a few times, but the last few weeks Ashworth just went straight into that position. So it's a blow for Harmon, but it won't make much of a difference to County's shape or their setup, and say Ashworth's more than capable of playing out there.
So the man on loan from Blackpool comes on to replace Harmon. Throw in County, but level with the edge of the D of the Livingston box, over on the County left as they attack the goal to the right. Long thrown into the areas, headed away by McGowan. Ashworth gets his first touch with a head down into the ground at the edge of the box, where Finlayson launches it clear. And then trying to deal with it to Fete. Didn't look comfortable at any point there, but Randall gets his head onto it and gets it forward here towards the halfway line, but Nightingale out of position, loses it as Montano brings Randall down, but that could have gone the other way, to be honest. It's right in front of Nick Walsh.
There was about 3 or 4 challenges in that phase of play, and that one that he's given a free kick was the one that you were probably thinking was least meriting a foul.
I wonder if he'll give the phantom foul here, Michael. Realise he's made a wee mistake, and when this ball's thrown in the area, that he'll give County a free kick, because it's Montano fouled Randall.
That's what I thought,
absolutely no doubt about it.
Kelly will take the free kick. How costly is it going to be for County? And it comes into the box, flicked well behind by Finlayson, and it will be a goal kick to Ross County. We played almost 10 minutes of the second half here on Sportsound, the final SPFL action of the season, the playoff final. County 3-2 up in aggregate, 2-1 on the night. BBC Radio Scotland on Extra, on 810 medium wave, on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. Highlights to come later this evening on the BBC Scotland channel. It is Pittman launching it forward, Montano's chasing, Nightingale's defending, diving header by Nightingale, and then put out for the throw-in by Eli Campbell, level with the County 18-yard line. Mikey?
I mean, we may well be getting deceived by the angle here, but I'm thinking, why is Nightingale letting that bounce?
It's a decent touch into the box. That's a free kick. Smith's been absolutely and unceremoniously brought crashing to the deck by Nightingale, who Michael said earlier looked a bit ungainly when he tried to head clear, and now he's given away a free kick in an outstanding position for Livingston. This is just slightly right of centre and maybe just about 22 yards from goal, John.
If you're a free kick expert, you are licking your lips at this one. It's just that nice distance. He could go up and over, although in saying that, you'll need planning permission for this Ross County wall. It's absolutely massive. So I'd be surprised if he tries to go over. I'm assuming he may go goalkeeper side, but The ball's a long way back as well, but Muirhead certainly got a dig in him, that's for sure. And it is, if you're someone who takes free kicks, this is a brilliant spot to hit one from.
Nightingale was booked, unsurprisingly, for that. It was robust, to say the least. Kelly and Muirhead are over it. You would think it'll be Muirhead with that left foot of his. The ref's happy with the county wall now. Amisa crouching in the centre of his goal. This is in front of the Livy fans. Here goes Muirhead. Amisa saves, but the rebound from Wilson saved too. And then the header with the second rebound goes in. And the Livingston supporters, some are on the pitch here. Wilson and McGowan both attacked it. The second attempt there on the rebound is headed past Amisa, and Livingston, from 2 goals down in Dingwall, have squared the tie. It is Ross County 2, Livingston 2, and 3-3 in aggregate. Incredible.
Well, Jordan Amisa has got to be asking questions his defence. That's shocking. He comes up with 2 brilliant saves, by the way, because the first one, even though I think it's quite central, is under the wall, and his reactions are so quick. He's up and he makes the second save. And where's the defence?
The only worry here,
where is the defence?
The only worry here is maybe VAR, because
possible offside here, by the way.
Offside. I don't think it might be the first one. You know what, people running in, and then, but I say with 2 incredible saves, and then still managed to, I don't know, was it Wilson in the end who managed to force it over the line with a header? But you just worry if, you know, strikers tend to...
Ryan McGowan got the final touch.
They like to run in. That's
Wilson had the previous one, yeah.
But I mean, they should have scored the second one. The first save's unbelievable, and Wilson should have scored.
No, Wilson, it's going down in the ledger as Wilson, according to.
Well, the first one,
there was a couple of bodies in the way there when it bobbled around.
The save from the free kick's brilliant. This follow-up save is outstanding. How he's managed to save that is incredible.
And he gets his hand to the third one.
And he nearly got that one out as well. But
anyway, it's not. They're still drawing the lines here for a possible offside. So. We're waiting for the action to get back underway, but will it be from the centre, or will it be a free kick to Ross County? Are they about to get out of jail here?
My feelings on this are, this attack going up the park comes from Nightingale letting the ball bounce.
Goal's going to stand. Goal stands. The Livy supporters celebrate again, and this tie is level.
But as I said, that comes from a simple ball to the park that Nightingale allows to bounce. He has to dive and header it out, and then there's another phase where it comes in the middle of the park and he wipes out the Livy attacker, and then you get the free kick from it. Just simple defending, that you defend and do the basics right. They don't even get a free kick there, and then Jordan Amisa's come up with 2 really good saves, and he's got justifiably turning out his defence and going, where are you? Where are you?
Well, this is in the melting pot, isn't it, John? This could go either way now.
If we all spoke about what we wanted from tonight, and so far has delivered it in absolute spades, end to end, chances either end, brilliant saves either end. A couple of mistakes have been capped. You know, you could talk Kelly's mistake. Michael's right. Nightingale can clear all that by just going attacking the ball. Volley it. He did it in the first half. Volley out of play for a throw in, and then get your bodies back from there. But they basically just recycled it, and then, as I say, as a goalkeeper, you must be raging with your defence to have produced 2 incredible saves.
Oh well.
And they get the third one past.
Just there, Muirhead was fouled in the centre circle there. At least it looked that way, but it's gone County's way, and David Martindale down below is slapping his hands in frustration.
I looked just. I didn't think it was a free kick to Livy personally. Just looked like Robbie Muirhead decided to start playing volleyball. But this is, I mean, what a game. I mean, David Martindale is absolutely buzzing. You know, he was distraught in that first half. But as this game's unfolded, you're not overly surprised by the scoreline here.
It looked like a foul by Pittman and Randall. Livingston play on, and it's Muirhead, gets away from the defender, gets the cross ball in, and Akil Wright to stretch his long left leg out to block it. Here they come again, Muirhead, bending it towards goal! What a finish from Robbie Muirhead! A stunning goal from Livy's top scorer has turned this tie in its head in the blink of an eye. Outstanding, curling, bending effort into the top left corner. One of the best goals you'll see this season on the final day of the season. And Livingston's promotion hopes have just received an almighty shot in the arm here. Ross County led this game 2-0. They're now trailing 3-2. And an incredible show of virtuosity from Muirhead makes it Ross County 2, Livingston 3.
Well, I wouldn't discount anything, but if Ross County come back from this, it's an almighty effort, because Livy have been pretty good all night, I've got to say, and they are well and truly on top now. You just feel that the momentum has swung so much in Livy's favour. That's a tremendous goal from Muirhead, it really is.
Even the first part of Michael, he's nutmegged Nightingale wide there again, whipped a great ball, and the Fetty's done brilliant to clear it. But it's come back to him, you're thinking he's not going to try it, he's going to recycle it into the box. He has whipped it into the postage stamp, giving Amisa no chance. I said Livingston are mountain to climb. Well, they've climbed it. It's whether they're just going to stay up there and enjoy the views now. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, they got to base camp by half time, didn't they? Now they're ascending, spectacularly so. And it's the Championship side who edge back in front 4-3 in aggregate. It's a stunning game, this. And there's still plenty more of it to go, by the way, because we're just beyond the hour mark. But Livingston, having been 2-0 down tonight, 3-2 up on the night, and 4-3 overall. And it's yet more end of season drama in Rossshire. We'll throw in here for County, who must be dazed and confused in equal measure here. Akil Wright with a long throw down the right-hand side. McGowan's the covering player for Livingston under pressure from Ronan Hale. Hale's pinched it off him, fires it back across. The touch there from Ashworth. The shot's blocked heroically by Finlayson. What a block that was, because Ashworth, I think, was set to score there.
What a game. What a game. You're right. Ashworth looks as if he's just destined to put it in the back of the net. He's blown a foul here, Nick Walsh, for Campbell's tackle, but I thought he got the ball, personally. I
don't know why he's getting on such a long lecture as well, because it's a 50-50 challenge, and if he has caught McGowan, it's slight, but that's one he's let ones like that go. But goodness me, what an opportunity that was. I mean, he's set himself up, and it looks like, all intents and purposes, he's going to score. It's an unbelievable block. Half an hour plus to go. We asked for a great game, and by goodness me, fair play to both sides here. Both sides, they're delivering it, because it's just been incredible. You'd never gave Livy, we gave them a slight hope at 2-0 down. They need to get the next goal. My goodness me, to score 3 in what, 20 minutes either side of half time. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Livingston on top just now, but you wouldn't put it past County to be able to turn the tide themselves.
Well, Michael, it's saying there, Liam, most of the drama, most of the goals in Dingwall this season have come in the last 6-7 minutes plus injury time. So, trust me, there's still plenty to go yet.
Honestly, for nothing else, watch the highlights tonight on Sports Scene at 11:15, just for that Robbie Muirhead goal. Incredible strike. Already enjoying his best goal-scoring season. That's his 19th.
You're doing Lewis Smith an injustice.
Yeah, good point. You don't forget about that, given what we've seen even since then. But that is for... I mean, they're both different goals. The first one's the Maisie solo run. This one, incredible. So, yeah, I mean, 2 outstanding goals of Livingston back in front here. And it is the Lions on the ball down that right-hand side. Knocked in field to Pittman. They can't control, and it's launched clear by Campbell.
It's frenetic stuff as well. There is no let-up. The guys at the side of the park are all trying to tell their team to just, like, calm down a bit, but it's just the way of this game.
It's a lovely angle ball, left-hand side of the box. Randall and his effort saved by Prior. Here they come again, low ball towards the penalty spot, the one area in the box there was nobody in navy blue, and Livingston are able to clear, launched forward towards Muirhead.
But what a chance there first. What a chance that is for Randall. It's a great ball over the top, inch perfect.
Yeah.
He really should have scored.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a decent effort, it's a good save again by the keeper, but just again that bit of composure. And you see that the aspect of this is both teams are going for it. Neither team look like they can defend it, or don't look like they're capable of keeping a clean sheet from the end of the season. End of the game, sorry.
County making a change, rolling the dice, and they're taking off Efete, and on comes Alex Samuel. Defender off, striker on. Samuel dropped out of the starting 11 tonight, but he comes on, John.
Yeah, listen, I've said all right, he's the northern Simon Murray. He works his absolute socks off, covers every inch of the grass. He'll do what Muirhead's doing up the other end. He'll get his bum in there and he'll rattle into defenders, he'll knock them about. But what I've always found strange is when they go to this formation, they seem to drop Jordan White into the number 10 position, which is weird. I mean, they're stuck to the same formation, but at this stage, just play Jordan through the middle, play Hale off one side, Samuel off the other side.
This fight, he's doing some good backtracking there, and he's worked it to Randall, who'll know what a chance it was for him. Threads it forward, looking for Samuel, well defended by Danny Wilson, though. There's an opportunity here down the left-hand touchline for Fraser, which comes back across the halfway line, breaks to Ronan Hale, who's fouled by Brandon, and that will be a free kick to Ross County on this near side as they look to try and force more opportunities to test Jerome Prior. A quarter of the second leg left to go, and Ross County trailing 4-3 in aggregate, and as it stands, Ross County will be relegated. However, they've been in much bigger holes than this at this stage of playoffs. Look back 2 years ago. Ashworth will take this free kick to start about 6 yards from this near side touchline level with the edge of the centre circle in the Livingston half. Left-footed from Ashworth, bends it to the left-hand side of the Livy box. It's headed down but wide over on the far side by Nightingale, and that will be a goal kick to Livingston, and it will stay County 2, Livingston 3, and 4-3 to the championship team on aggregate. And I mean, for Ross County, as I said, they've been in worse positions than this, but there can be no understating the importance for them as a club of these next 22 minutes plus stoppages. Long ball forward from Prior into the centre circle, comes off the head of Nightingale, flicked on by Flight. McGowan heads away, and then lashed clear by Stephen Kelly. Long towards Muirhead, he's got goal side of Nightingale, looking to get the contact on the ball to control. Nightingale does well to win it back though, and it's rolled calmly to Campbell, and then out to the left hand side. Ashworth forward to White, holding off the Livingston skipper Brandon. Back to Campbell, long ball with the left foot, looking to get Hale in behind, but it's a good header there by McGowan, and he's found Fraser, who clears with the left foot. Out to the right hand side it goes, as Livingston attack the County penalty area, but it's Ashworth who gets there first, finds Nightingale, then out to that left hand side for Campbell. What a game we have here, what a climax it could be as the ball's turned back to Amisa to run out towards the right hand side of his box to get onto that. He then launches it clear, helped on its way by Hale, breaks to Fraser with the left foot. He goes back to his goalkeeper as Livingston prepare to bring Tete Yenge on.
Frantic. Just,
I mean, you can't take your eyes off it, can you?
I'm on edge just watching this.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what Don Kelly and David Martindale are thinking.
Well, Don Kelly will have a sweat on right now because their Premiership status is under the most serious of duress here. There's Jordan White poking with the outside of the right boot to the left hand side of the area for Sander. It's away from one and shoots, and it's saved by the keeper Prior at his near post, and it will stay 3-2 Livingston here in Dingwall and 4-3 overall.
It's going to be like this all the way, and I mean the last attack as well, the jeopardy that both teams are playing. Muirhead gets beyond Nightingale, and his touch just slips away from it, allows Nightingale that little half a yard to get back, otherwise he's through again, and we immediately go to the other end, and there's an opportunity, and I say it's just, you just cannot take your eyes off this game tonight.
McGowan clears for Livingston to Brandon, to the right hand side for Finlayson. Long right football forward onto the chest of Muirhead, gets out to the far side, shifted infield by Smith, then down the line goes Montagno, back down the line for Smith, looks up at the County box, decides to reverse it back out to Montagno. Very deep ball, Muirhead couldn't make any contact on it, and it goes behind for the goal kick as he swung his left foot at it. And now the Livingston change will come, and Tete Yenge is going to come on for Livingston. So Montano off, Yengi on. Talk me through that one, Michael.
Well, I mean, David Martindale's preferred to play Tete Yengi down this left-hand side, so it's just going to be a like-for-like substitution, but certainly it's fresh legs, bit of physicality as well. Yengi always strikes me as somebody that if he learned how to use his body more efficiently, he'd be an absolute animal. I mean, you just need to look at his shoulders. He is, if the rest of his body fills out as well, I mean, he'd be an absolute monster to play against. But even as he is, if he does use his body properly, he's a real handful.
Samuel chasing it, down he goes to the edge of the box, but it's gone against him. He's fouled Brandon, says Nick Walsh, right at the edge of the Livingston box as well. We are looking at a situation here where Livingston are 18 minutes plus stoppage time away from the Premiership.
Yeah, but they'll know themselves. Listen, the way this game's gone so far, they'll know. They're now looking for the next goal to kill the tie. They'll think they get the next goal, they're there, or touching it. But they also know that it only takes that. You've seen it already. A little bit of a mistake or a bit of magic, as we've seen at both ends, and suddenly we could be level again. So, as we say, we go in, and County will have to take more chances, because whereas Michael said in the first half that Livy were playing well, they still had plenty of time to try and get back into the game, albeit they needed the third goal of the match to go their way, which it did. County will still be thinking the same as well, that there's still going to be an opportunity for them.
County led 2-0 thanks to Nisbet and Hale. Smith with a wonderful solo goal made it 2-1 before the break. Wilson and Muirhead for Livingston in the second half. And here's Muirhead in the box, shoots wide. Amisa relieved this time as he thought about trying to dive to his right. He knew he wasn't getting there, but he's happy enough to watch it go out for a throw-in on this near side for County.
My concern for Ross County is that they've, I said before the game, defend properly, and I'm not sure they have. You look at the goals that they've conceded. The first one's a great goal from Smith, and there's no doubt about that, but still you're thinking to yourself, defend a bit smarter, a bit wiser, and you don't allow that to happen. You kill it at source. And the second one, they don't defend the second balls.
Yengi looking for Pittman at the edge of the County box, but Nisbet's there to win it back and then give it away to Yengi. But fortunately for him, it ricochets to the path of Randall, who gets it clear into the Livy half. Fraser back to Wilson. Danny Wilson, what a goal-scoring impact he's had on the playoffs. He scored in the first leg against Partick Thistle in the semis, and he scored in both legs of the final. The veteran. Livingston pick up down that right-hand side. Pittman to Brandon. He moves it to the left of the centre circle for Fraser in his own half. Forward to Yengi on this near side. Back to Fraser. Fraser then rolls it back to his keeper. First time from Prior, up into the air, it goes up across halfway. Nisbet wins his header and he's found White goes down, he's looking for a free kick, he's not getting it. It's Danny Wilson for Livingston. Rolls it to this near side touchline for Fraser. The first time ball from Muirhead down the left flank. Yengi chasing. Wright's defending, trying to get it behind there, and Yengi's kept it in play, and then he barges right to the deck, and that will be a free kick to County on the near side. It's exactly what Michael was talking about.
Yeah. He's done brilliant actually to stop the ball going out, because it's not, Fetty's a big lad as well, big strong boy, but he's fought him off, and then it's a good foul. Foul him as far away from your goal as possible.
15 minutes to play. Livingston 4-3 up in aggregate, 3-2 on the night. And it is with Robbie Fraser on this near side. What a way for the SPFL season to conclude. There might be plenty more to come if County can find an equaliser, extra time and penalties in the offing, should that happen. But here come Livy. Yengi gets the flick, Muirhead driving towards the County box, and it just got away from him. And Wright can touch it back to Amisa. Drives it forward with the left foot, high across the halfway line. There was a foul there. And a yellow card as well for Finlayson as he brings Hale to the ground, and that will be a free kick to the home team in the centre circle as the away team look to bring on Stevie May for the final 14 minutes, as it is now, of the 90.
Well, that's what Livingston have got there. They've got experienced lads there. They've got the likes of Stevie May come on. They can bring on Shinnie, guys that they've been round the block and know what they're up to. But right now, as I say, County have not changed. We spoke about it. They go long. They hope that Jordan White wins the headers. Then they play for knockdowns. Once they get the knockdowns, they'll start to play a wee bit there. But you know, Wilson and McGowan have really defended well against Jordan White. And as I say now, it's just going to be, can they hold out? County have got to start taking more and more chances.
Yeah, that's for sure. Robbie Muirhead coming off. The man who, as it stands, is sending Livingston back to the top flight at the first time of asking. Off he comes. On comes May. 19 goals he's managed this season. That will be the last, and what a finish it was. And is it going to be a golden goal for Livingston? Here's Wright for County. Moving into a central position, then going back into his own half for Nightingale. Look at Stevie May chasing it down, sliding in, winning the ball. And he goes out for a County throw on this near side.
It's no thought. Like, it's no thought from the free kick. You play it out to Akil Wright. He's not set for it. He's got no idea of what he's trying to do with it before the ball arrives at his feet.
And May is right on top of him.
Once they've obviously recirculated the ball back to try to start again.
Michael. That's been the problem. You notice there's no wingers in the County squad. No, Henderson went down the road early to Ayr on loan. The boy Robertson could come on. He's really quick, but they don't play with wingers. And you see, you've now got 3 forwards on the attack. They've got to come through the middle, or as they've been doing, play it long and play for knockdowns. And that suited Wilson and McGowan all night.
There goes Samuels, peeled away from Wilson on the right. Wilson brings him down right hand side of the box. Is he giving a corner, or in fact a goal kick he's giving? No free kick, no corner, goal kick.
Well, unless it flicks up and comes off of Samuel, it's got to be a corner or a free kick.
I thought it was a corner. I thought he's played the ball, but
yeah,
as you say, that maybe he's got help from his assistant there. But I thought because Samuel got away from Wilson, he did brilliant to get back and throw a leg in there just to make sure that he couldn't get any further.
12 of 90 left in Dingwall. It is Livingston on the ball, long up to the right hand side. It slipped forward to May. May now level with the County 18-yard line. It's a Diengi, fresh air chance though. If he makes good contact with that, he could have been looking at sealing Livingston's place in next season's top flight. As it is, it's still game on, and County have a free kick up the other end. Brandon with the foul on Samuel. And they've taken it quickly through Hale, but the ref wasn't ready. Wasn't taken from the correct spot, he says.
Well, he should have been ready. You know, honestly, get lost. The ball's like 3 feet away. I mean, just
let him go on with it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the over-officious part of it. But again, this is County. They'll just throw balls into the box and hope to win a header, hope for a knockdown.
Well, because the quick inventive play's been pulled up.
Free kick then. Ashworth takes it left-footed, bends it to the left-hand side of the box when it's headed away. Now it's Josh Nisbet. Looks up, gets the cross in with the left foot, but it's way too close to Prior, who clutches on with both gloves. And now it's just over 10 minutes left of this second leg, with Livingston leading 4-3 in aggregate. 3-2 on the night, having been 2-0 down. And the comeback that they've shown tonight is the very embodiment of what Livingston Football Club is all about and what they've been about this season. As Kenna gets it forward down the left there, and it's White. He has to go back into his own half though to Campbell. Campbell will roll it back to his keeper. Amisa comes to the edge of his box and clears with the right foot, but out it goes for a throw-in on the far side. It's getting a little bit ragged from a County point of view, and it's at the wrong time for them as well.
Yeah, they've got to make changes now. They've got to have to change their formation. You know, it's as simple and straightforward as that. It's not working now. They've got to take one of their wing backs off, get another forward on.
Well, they're going to bring Kieran Phillips on, who was the man who scored the last time they won a game of football. They don't need to win this game. They could score, take it extra time, go to penalties as they did 2 years ago. Macaulay Tate will be on for Livingston shortly. Another who dropped out of David Martindale starting 11. We're in the 81st minute. And Livy have a throw-in just inside the County half over on the far side, which is bowled forward to May. May back to Kelly. Out to the right-hand side for Pittman. Back to Brandon. And then played all the way back to Prior at the edge of his box. Long ball forward with the left foot. Yengi controls it brilliantly.
You've got to say, Prior's pretty good with the ball at his feet. Takes the ball in from one side, opens up and pings it out to Tete Yengi. Inch perfect.
I'll tell you what, if Livy hang on, changing their pitch will be brilliant for them next season, because this surface has suited them down to the ground tonight. They've played absolutely brilliantly so far in this game.
We've seen a few teams bounce back immediately from relegations in recent seasons. We've seen the likes of Hearts and Kilmarnock and Dundee United. Dundee all bounce back at the first time of asking, not necessarily by winning the championship, but coming through via the playoffs. And as it stands, Livingston will be joining that group of teams to respond immediately. As Campbell goes back to his goalkeeper. Ross County, 13 out of the last 14 seasons have been spent dining at the top table. They've only got 8 minutes plus stoppages left to save themselves. Long ball from Akil Wright, flicked on by White. Hale couldn't control. Brandon's back onto it for Livy. Shifts it down that right-hand side for Smith. Smith's got pitched eat up here as he drives forward up towards the edge of the county box. Leah for Pittman. Sliding is Noan Kennan. That's a really important challenge as he wins it back and clears. But this ball's coming straight back at the county defence here. Rolled out here by Fraser to Yengi. Little step over, level with the 6-yard line. Wins the corner off Connor Randall.
Certainly feels like Livy have got more about them just now. County just look dead on their feet, to be honest. Lacking ideas, bit one-dimensional, and they're just hitting and hope at times up the park.
83 on the clock. County 2, Livy 3. And a corner. And Josh Nisbet throwing the ball at Stephen Kelly to give him the ball for the corner, which eventually will be taken on this near side. In swinger coming up from Kelly. Livingston looking to put this to bed now. A very deep ball. Yengi's header blocked just about on the line there by County. It's launched away by Kenna up towards the halfway line. What have County got left? Ronan Hale looking to get it forward there, trying to get Phillips involved. Livy head clear only as far as Hale. Hale goes for the spectacular from distance, but it's a comfortable take for Prior down to his right, who holds on, and it stays 3-2 Livy on the night.
It's a good strike, but he's a fair distance out. I just wonder whether he should have been looking to try to either slip one of his teammates in or look to try and get just an extra pass in, get further up the park and even bounce it off somebody else. He's such a clean striker of the ball, but it was a fair distance out. He'd managed to get a little bit of space, and you just think, look to try and bounce it off somebody, get 5-10 yards further up, get on the edge of the box, just inside the box, and try and get the strike away.
Yeah, Michael Nottingham's coming on as well. So there's a double change, the big defender.
No, I think Livy could be going to a back five now, because County have thrown 4 up. They've gone 4-2-4. And I think this might just be, unless it's another defender coming off, but
it's Nottingham's coming on for Smith.
Right, so it's definitely, it looks like
for Kelly.
It could be a back five now, 5-4-1 maybe for Livy, and then try and catch him on the break.
85-minute mark just about, John. This is your favourite time when it comes to games at Dingwall this season.
And, you know, we've seen, I think the most we got up here, we got 9 minutes. One game there was 8 minutes when they played Hearts, scored twice in 96 and 98th minute, so they've scored, there've been so many goals for and against in injury time. It's incredible, but we've had everything else so far tonight.
Long ball from Amisa comes all the way through off the head of Nottingham in his first act just to concede a corner. His manager's furious, he's just on.
Well, they're slow to react. I mean, I thought Amisa's put too much on it. All of a sudden it looked like Samuel was nicking him behind, and just looks like the Livy backman just slow to react to it.
One long ball from the county keeper draws a corner. And what can they come up with here? Their need is urgent. Into the back post, the header down's blocked. It was right, might well have been goal bound. Still alive. Down goes one of the County players. I think it was Phillips. No penalty. Livingston get it away. County will come again. Nisbet for Randall. Switches it right to left.
He's
Over
lucky.
It comes to the far side.
He's fortunate because he mishit that.
And it comes from Nisbet, blocked by Nottingham, doing what he was sent on to do. May forward there. Yengi goes down. No foul. County have it back. Here's Wright. Do they have a big chance in them? Randall looks up. It looks too close to the keeper. It is, and Friar holds on. And another attacking phase comes to nothing for Ross County, and the seconds are slipping away from them.
It's amazing you throw things on there, and Nottingham like panicked the first ball put in the box as it passed. I was watching it, they're all shouting at each other to pick up. You've got to pick up him because you're taking boys off who know their job, and suddenly somebody else has got, and Wright got free at the back post. It was a great opportunity. I think he just headed that against the Livingston lad who knew nothing much about it, but it looks like it's just a sit in and hold what we've got now from Livy.
Flick header from White out to the right hand side. Chance for Phillips. His cross is cut out by Danny Wilson.
Jeez.
And that's a dreadful ball. He's given it straight to Stevie May on the edge of the centre circle in his own half though. Rolls it back down that right hand side. Don Cowie standing down on the edge of his technical area. Nothing he can do. There's less than 3 minutes of the 90 to play. His team is getting relegated as it stands. Do they have any playoff magic that they had against Partick Thistle here 2 years ago? I'm hearing there's going to be a minimum of 6 minutes added on at the end of this. As Wilson heads clear for Livy, it's at the halfway line for Kenna, for County. It's a misunderstanding, I think, between Kenna and Nisbet. It's too much on the pass and it goes under Nisbet's foot, and out for a Livingston throw-in on the far side. It's all looking a little bit desperate from County right now. County 2, Livy 3. 4-3 to Livy on aggregate. And County, quite simply, John Robertson, are running out of time.
Yeah, they are, but what you've got to say is that right now Livingston deserve the lead. You know, you can't argue that the fact that they've done it. They've created some good football, scored some wonderful goals, and what you've seen tonight from County is what they've been like all season. They've not created a great deal. They've created a few chances tonight, but not through open plays, kind of knockdowns, flick-ons and getting behind. But right now they need someone with a bit of composure, get the ball wide, get crosses in the box.
Defending's been their Achilles heel all season, and even at 2-0 up, you knew that this was still there was still a tie on here. Misa launches it forward into the Livy half, comes off the head of Kenna, flicks it forward. White trying to get onto it, he's just pushed Brandon in the deck. No foul though. Hale might get onto this. Wilson gets there first, and eventually it's gone to Livingston.
That's not a free kick. I mean,
for a foul on McGowan.
It's not a free kick. Nick Walsh is just, I don't know what he's seeing, but I didn't see a free kick.
We have just ticked into minute 90 here on Sports Sound. The last 6 or 7 minutes of the season. And Ross County going down as it stands. Livy coming straight back up. It will be Jerome Prior with this free kick for Livingston. Just before the midway point of his own half. Long with the left foot to the edge of the County box. The header from Randall up into the air. Kenna heads it in field. Pittman gets onto it. Stevie May shoots. Held onto by Amisa. Wouldn't have ruled May out from there. And then Amisa's made a complete hash of the ball forward. Bounces in the midfield. Headed forward by Pittman. And then Wright gets there ahead of Yengi.
It's a terrible clearance. Well, it's not even a clearance, it's just a kick out his hands for Amisa, but he wasn't helped by it. It looked as if Campbell sort of ran in front of him, his own defender.
Looks like a foul by White, but Livingston's still on it, so 6 minutes have been confirmed. And Livingston are 6 minutes from promotion. 6 minutes from going back up. And Ross County, 6 season stay, will come to a crashing end here. Given what happened against Partick Thistle 2 seasons ago, now there's time, there's hope for County. And a ball forward almost found Stevie May. It's launched clear by Wright up towards the halfway line. County can't retain the ball just when they need to.
Their shape's gone completely. They're all over the place now. You know, there's no structure.
Robbie Fraser down to the corner flag, wins the throw-in off Randall. No, he doesn't. It's gone the other way.
Robbo's spot on. They've got all of these forward players on, but they're not even really in any positions. It's just, oh, we'll chuck an extra forward on. But you need to have some structure to actually utilise all those forward players you've got on.
And they've made a mess of it. Here's Stevie May picking up the mistake just inside the county box. Rolls it out wide left for Yenge. He's going to go to the corner flag, but then the offside flag goes up.
Talk about that. As soon as he gets it, just put your flag up. He's offside. You know you're going to put it up 5-10 seconds later. Look at now, there's just nothing.
Yeah, look, there's less than 5 minutes now for County. And Amisa launches it forward with the right foot into the Livingston half. The header won by Wilson. Another really good job he and McGowan have done tonight at keeping County at arm's length.
They've handled Jordan White really, really well tonight, the two of them. I think Jordan's won a couple of flick-ons, but generally speaking, they've done that. And the young boy Fraser's been excellent. He's tucked in. Finlayson's tucked in, and Brandon and Pittman in front have done a job.
But Robbo, apart from the first 20 minutes, there's not been any structure at County's, play. Jordan White.
Well, there's a header in the box. Samuel's giving chase, but Prior grabs it around about the edge of his 6-yard box. Stays down, holding on to the ball for dear life.
I couldn't really tell you what it is that County were looking to try to do. It's very scrappy and one that, the first 20 minutes was as good as the link-up as I'd seen for a while with County, with Nisbet, Hale and White. Since then, it's just become more and more disjointed.
County cannot get this clear. Now it's Yenge driving forward, but Phillips gets there and gets it clear, and then there's a foul on Kennett, but they're still deep inside their own half here. Ross County. Davy Martindale's away down the touchline on this near side. He's going to be celebrating soon if it stays like this. Just 3 minutes of stoppages left. His Livingston team 3-2 up in the night and 4-3 in aggregate. County, of course, left it late in the first leg, that Hale penalty. Do they have late drama left in them again?
That's a perfect example. The ball drops to Hale. He's literally got nothing to hit.
Oh, it's a dreadful touch by Wright, and Livingston are back onto it in the far side, though.
And again, look, he's
Hale
got
wins
nothing.
It back quickly.
There is literally nothing on the wide area at all.
Yeah, they've all gone central. Nisbet's trying to give him a wide option, and comes the cross from deep. It's headed away. County will try and come again here. It's Hale, first time, bends it into the box, but Prior holds on again. And yet more seconds tumble away from Ross County.
That's the first time that the Ashworth stayed wide, put a good ball in. It's well defended. Hale, your main striker, gets a touch, whips another ball into the exact area that you want him to be on the end of.
David Martindale's trying to whip the Livingston fans into a frenzy for one last push here.
And nobody runs across the keeper.
That's what I'm saying, that's exactly where you expect your striker to go.
But there's still 4 bodies in there.
Less than 2 minutes left. Right over the top, looking for Samuel, headed away by McGowan. And then by Wilson. Onto the header, Randall, back into the Livy half, helped on its way by Kenna, so too by Samuel, headed away by Wilson. How congested that central area of the pitch is,
even
both teams.
Randall's gone in there as well now. It's like you need width. Livingston have gone to a back 6. You need somebody wide to put across and give an angle on the ball.
Long ball out to that far side for County. He's headed away up towards the halfway line. We're about 10 seconds or so away from going into the final minute of stoppage time. Long from Amisa this time. And then there's a little push by Phillips on Fraser, and that's a Livingston free kick. And it's all getting away from Don Cowie and Ross County as the Staggies bosses a look at his watch.
You've got to say it, and I think Robbo mentioned it about 10 minutes ago. Livy have deserved it. They deserved it. It's just become far too disjointed for Ross County over the course of the season.
And a calamitous end to the season as well is coming back to bite them big time here. It's back with Amisa. Long ball forward. 30 seconds to go. Bounces across the halfway line. Wilson wins the header. Then it's May, who just boots it as high up into the Dingwall sky as he can. Bounces away out of play on the far side. It's like the end of a rugby match. They're just kicking for touch as far up the pitch as they can. 10 seconds for County. This is done. This is done. There's no further checks going on, so this game is seconds away from finishing, and Yengi's in to absolutely finish it, which he does! Tete Yengi in behind the defender, rifles it home, and Livingston are going up! A stunning climax on a night where they've come through the adversity of a 2-goal deficit. Tete Yengi sends Livingston back to the top table at the first time of asking, and relegates Ross County, whose players look around them, look into their feet, look into the heavens. County are going down, Livingston are going up. That goal from Yengi makes it Ross County 2, Livingston 4, and 5-3 on aggregate.
Oh, what a goal!
All the action.
What a moment!
From all the biggest games.
This is Sports Sound.
Oh, it's a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Another goal!
Do you know, that was a bit of premature celebration from the studio there, because I can tell you that, as far as I'm aware, the final whistle hasn't actually gone, although it might well be that the referee has decided discretion is the better part of valour. He knows it's going to happen. He knows it's all over. This game is not going to resume, but the final whistle did not at any point sound, because Tete Yengi smashed the ball in the net, then raced to the Livingston fans, and the Livingston fans engulfed him, and David Martindale was halfway across the Livingston half of the pitch celebrating, and now it is officially all over. It is all over for Ross County. What a horrendous conclusion to the campaign. End of February, beginning of March, looked like they were going to be absolutely fine, but the run, they have slipped away, and they lost 7 in the bounce. It's now a further 4 matches without victory, and that has seen them topple from the top flight. 6 successive years come to an end. That proud run of 12 out of 13 years in the top flight have come to an end. And it's Livingston who have bounced back at the first time of asking. Livingston who are celebrating. Their players, most of them, somewhere in the middle of the pitch there. The fans have come on. I've got to say that I know Alan Preston is taken against any kind of fans coming on the pitch to celebrate. The county fans have well and truly stayed in their places. There's no goading of the home fans as far as I can see. It is simply Livingston, might be one or two being a bit silly over on the far side there, but in the main it is just simply Livingston fans out on the pitch celebrating. A lot of photographs being taken right now. David Martindale's just picked up a young lad and is giving him a big hug. It is a phenomenal night for Livingston Football Club. At the third time of asking, County have finally had to give up. They pulled off the most remarkable escape against Partick Thistle. They cruised to victory against Wraith Rovers, and they looked as if they were cruising to victory against Livingston. They were 2-0 up within 24 minutes, but wow, David Martindale's team, who you've got to say were by some distance the better side over the 2 legs, not just tonight, but they were the better team on Thursday night, and then lost that late penalty to see the lead slip away. They came here hanging on to the 1-1 scoreline. They were 3-1 down in aggregate, but wow, they have turned it round, and they've turned it round with 2 of the best goals you will see. The magnificent solo effort from Lewis Smith, and Robbie Muirhead's absolutely magnificent curling effort from the angle of the box into the top corner. In the wake of that, Tete Yengi brushed off. Got to say, Campbell was absolutely distraught. Let's quickly go down to Ian Auld. He is with, I'm sure, a very happy David Martindale.
Yeah, indeed, Richard. We spoke about emotions before the game. Davey, you talked about how you were calm. How are your emotions now on the back of that game?
I'm just really proud of the players, really proud of the staff. Like, I'm the figurehead that gets the credit, but that's not about me. This isn't about me. I think Chapper, Neely, Potsy, Andy, Cheb, and all the staff at the club, but the players, I thought, see it 2-0, I knew we'd come back. I just had a feeling we'd win the game. It's easy for me to say that now, but genuinely, it was a genuine belief. At half-time, I said to the players, go and get the next goal, you'll win the game. You will win this game, go and get the next goal. And we went and got the next goal. And then Robbie Muirhead comes up with a massive finish. And then Tete at the end 4-2. So I'm just, honestly, it was a tough year last year. It's been a tough 4 years at the club. I'm just delighted for everybody at the club. John McAvoy, John Ward, Dave Black, they deserve huge credit. No me, they deserve huge credit. These people, Chipper, Neely, Potsy, massive amount of credit goes to him. But you know what? The players showed personality, they showed character. And for me, that's me. That was my players out in the park today, and I'm so proud of them.
You could see after half-time, you pulled a goal back before the end of the first half, and in the second half, your players were incredible.
I just felt when they gave what their strength was, kind of quite direct, long, big, physical. I felt we fell out the game a wee bit, but even at 2-0, I still felt we were the better team. And I mean that from a footballing point of view. I mean that from controlled entries into the opponent's box. And I felt we were the better team on the night. Felt we were the better team on Thursday. So just really proud of the players, but really proud of everybody at the football club.
You're back in the Premiership now. There's a real buoyancy around Livingston with the investment, the new chairman coming in too. And you've had a real good season to cap it off with getting promoted back into the Premiership. It's an incredible feat for you.
I think I owe Calvin Ford, he re-energised me. Honestly, it was tough, but Calvin's came in, he's gave me new impetus, new energy. I spoke to him on Friday, he said, we'll put the park down, even if you don't go to the Premier League, we're going to put a new park down for you. And I thought, you know what, we've been missing that. So the club is in a fantastic place, on and off the park, and long may that continue.
A word for your supporters, they were tremendous throughout. They'll enjoy that journey back down the line tonight.
Really, honestly, moments like this. I spoke to, I done an interview early doors in the season. We were a new group just in the building together. Couple of draws, never got the results we quite wanted. And I remember speaking to the supporters and I said, look, remember these times of adversity, remember them, because we're going to get success together, and see when we do, it's going to feel amazing. And here we go, we've won a cup and we're promoted to the Premiership. Unbelievable.
Davey, I remember speaking to you last year when your bus broke down on the way to Dingwall. That bus journey back for you will be something special tonight.
I just want to get out of my bed, I want to go home, get something to eat, and then just go and enjoy some family time with Martha and Georgia, because they've went through a lot over the past 11 seasons, but last season was difficult, and I want to go and enjoy a family holiday for once.
Davey, all the best.
Cheers,
congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, absolute congratulations to David Martindale. You can hear just what it means to him, and well done to Ian for grabbing David there. Most of the Livingston players are still out there on the pitch. They're surrounded by Livy fans. It's one of those occasions where it's almost as if that you just don't want to leave the pitch. But and we're going to say Ian is suffering a footballing injury, so he is on crutches right now, so he won't be chasing anyone around the pitch. But hopefully one or two of the players will come close enough. Danny Wilson might just be close enough for Ian. He'll turn around, he'll see Ian, and he'll take pity on him. And he'll hopefully go across and have a word. No, is he going to catch? Yeah, he's caught him. Well done. Ian is with the goal machine, Danny Wilson.
I am with the goal machine, Danny Wilson. Danny, talk to us about that one. That was an incredible game of football.
Yeah, it was. It can happen over the course of 90 minutes. I didn't really think we deserved to be too behind. I thought we started the game fairly well, and then we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. But we showed great character. That first goal by Lewis Smith gets back in the game. Really important. Came at a really important time. Allowed us to settle us down before half time. And we knew that if we got the next goal, there was a chance. Fortunately, we got it, and I thought we defended really well, limited them to very little, and we caused them a few problems on the counter, and that was kind of the way the game went. And obviously, when you get ahead, it's kind of back to the walls. But Tete comes up with an excellent finish right at the end, and I thought over the course of the two legs, I thought we were deserving of going back to the Premier League. Get a lot of things get thrown at us, but we believe we're a good team, and I think we've showed that over the course of these playoffs.
Just spoke to your manager there. He said that he had belief in you guys winning today, even at 2-0 down. Did you have the same belief?
Yeah, I think it's easy to say now when you come back, but I think we knew that the next goal was going to be important. We're fortunate we got it at the time we did. I thought it was a great bit of play, like I said, for Smithy. And I think that gave us that extra bit of belief. I think we believed that we were coming here tonight. We knew we'd have to win, obviously. But I think, regardless of what the result would be on Thursday, we knew we had to come here anyway and win. So we've managed to do that, and we can go and enjoy ourselves now.
You've capped off a really good season as well. You've won a trophy. You've won promotion back to the Premiership. For yourself, excited to test yourself back in the Premiership again?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a place that the club, from what I've seen since I've come in, deserves to be. I think everything's there. Obviously, there's room for optimism now. We've obviously had a difficult season, but we've got stronger as the season's gone on. Narrowly missed out on automatically getting promoted. Like you say, winning a cup as well. So to cap it off tonight was really important for us. I think, obviously, to go up's important. I think even if we hadn't gone up, we would have been in a good place come next season. But this just obviously really helps us going into next season. I think we can look forward with real optimism for this team.
The celebrations on the park behind us are pretty special. That bus will be bouncing down the A9 tonight.
Yeah. Obviously, it would have been a very different bus journey had we not gone up. So delighted that we're going back with a great result like this, and it'll make that journey a little bit sweeter.
Danny, congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, well done indeed. 7 goals for the season, Danny Wilson, and of course he just couldn't stop scoring in the playoffs, the semi-final, and then in both legs of the final. It was he who gave away the late penalty, and he spoke to us after the game on Thursday night, and he talked about how disappointed he was to have been involved in that. But wow, so many positives. And he and Ryan McGowan, you've got to say, whether that's going to be a defensive partnership that will be lining up regularly in the Premiership next season remains to be seen. But wow, they have come to the fore. They have certainly done their bit tonight. And Ross County, not only were they throwing bodies forward, and it was all a bit haphazard, but you could see that some of the players were absolutely running an empty. Eli Campbell was one of those. It was he got caught out by Teddy Yengi. Just at the end there, Yengi just kind of burst away from him, and you just knew that the big Aussie was going to smash it into the net, which he did. And that was the moments where the Livy fans, if they're war, and there must have been nerves, they would have seen their team were holding out pretty well, but they must have been feeling a bit anxious, a bit nervous as we ticked minute after minute after minute deep into stoppage time. But when that ball smashed into the back of the net right in front of the Livingston fans, they exploded. They tumbled out onto the pitch, and most of them stayed there for the past 20 minutes or so, and they have been well and truly part of the celebrations here. The county fans did hang around in the main. They have disappeared now. I didn't see any trouble at all, which is great. And look, it was just a joyous occasion for all those Livingston fans. Of course, relegated 12 months ago, or just over 12 months ago. They've had plenty to celebrate over the course of this season. What a campaign it has been. And now, the biggest prize of all, a place back in the top flight of Scottish football. And you've got to say, John Robertson, no one could deny that they deserved it over the 2 legs.
Absolutely sensational. And we struck it earlier on, and we've seen them win here in the Scottish Cup, but tonight they've reinvented themselves. This is what 1 year in the Championship has allowed them to do. Michael talked about David Martindale's recruitment. He's recruited really good football players. Macaulay Tate's coming in loan, but you've got the likes of Smith in there, Kelly. I got the ball. Fraser, I thought, was outstanding at left back. Finlayson coming tonight. Brandon done a job, but they play good football, really, really good football, which is not something that you've associated with a Livingston team who've had to try and find a way to stay in the league for 6 years. So this year has allowed them to go down, rebuild, play a bit of football, enjoy themselves, go and win games week in, week out. And they've come here tonight, and we said they started well, lost the goal, played, responded well, lost another goal, come back, and I mean the goal from Lewis Smith, goodness me, that's the goal that hauled them back. And you heard Danny Wilson saying there, we knew if we could get a goal back, it settled them down. They came out the second half, they came flying out the traps, really, really strong, had a couple of half chances, got the goal, 2 unbelievable saves from Amisa, who must be raging that nobody was in there to help him. As a goalkeeper, you'd be you've got to punch somebody for that. But he managed, his save from the rebound was incredible. But Danny Wilson, the goal machine, knocks it in. The goal for Robbie Muirhead just takes your breath away. He had no right to score from there, and he scores. And by the way, even at the death, Terry Yengi, what a finish to cap off. A thoroughly deserved it. Ross County, they were there, 2-0 up, in control, but they just got, the more the game went, when they went 3-2 down, they went ragged. They had 2 big chances. Conor Randolph had one, and I think the other one was Hale. Both big chances to score, didn't take them, and then the longer the game went, the more they ran out of ideas and unfortunately, that's kind of how it's been since March in their last win. They've just not done enough.
No, and while they've been going down the way, Livingston, of course, Michael, were very much on an upward trajectory. They won the Challenge Cup. They got closer and closer to Falkirk, and but for defeat on the last day of the season, you don't know quite what might have happened there. Now they have done it, and you know, they're the first team ever to be promoted twice into the Premiership through the playoffs. Other sides have won the Premiership playoff final on a couple of occasions, but they're the only ones to have won promotion on both times, and it's just been a absolutely fantastic night for them. Ian's just he tried to get a word with Robbie Muirhead there, and obviously the signals he was getting there. Robbie said, I've lost my voice, I cannot speak.
He's got a stutter. He doesn't like to do interviews.
I didn't realise. Well, that's why I've never heard him then, obviously.
I think he's not comfortable doing the interviews. But to touch on the point you were going to make there about Livingston on the up, I think there's been a quiet confidence about them all season long, and I think Davy Martindale clearly disappointed that they weren't able to catch Falkirk, because I think internally they felt like they were capable. And they got very close, but there was a number of occasions throughout the course of the season where it looked as if they were really about to pip them, go above them, but they always seemed to just fall at that point.
Right, let's hear from Scott Pittman. He's been there a long time. He knows what promotion's all about. He's with Ian.
Yeah, a man who knows Livingston inside out. Scott, tell us about the emotions after that one. That was an epic game of football.
That's what I was doing. No, I obviously just delighted. Obviously got off to a bad start, 2-0 down, so Smithy's got a great goal just before half time. Now that gives a wee bit of confidence back going into half time. So we just came out, kept on playing the way we were playing, and we knew we'd get a couple of goals. So obviously just delighted the way it ended.
You had the goal back just before half time. What did the manager say in the changing rooms at half time?
No, I just said obviously started a bit poor, but I think he thought we were the better team the first half. After we grew into it a wee bit, and like you said, Smithy got a good goal just before half time that gave us a bit of confidence. So we just said keep going the way we're going, and we'll get the next goal's massive. And if we get that, I think we're going to win the game, obviously, which we did. And Boobsy obviously got a goal to win it as well.
There's some incredible goals in there as well. There's some, goal of the season contenders in there. What a way to cap it off, because it's been a really good season for you guys.
It's been a good season. I think we've done really well. It's been a long, hard season. Obviously pushed Falkirk all the way. So obviously just delighted to win the playoffs. I think it's been obviously a great season with the cup win thrown in there as well. So obviously to get promoted and the cup win, it's obviously been a great season for us.
Yeah, the cup win as well, you mentioned, and rightly so, now promoted back to the Premiership. This group of players, it seems quite a special group of players that Davies put together this season. What can you guys do in the Premiership next year?
I think we're just obviously growing in confidence as the season's going on. I think we've got better and better. So hopefully we can just take that in the next season, and if we keep playing the way we're playing, I think we'll have another good season next year.
A new artificial surface getting laid in the summer as well, ready for your Premiership return. Are you in a personal note looking forward to getting back to the top flight?
Of course I am. Obviously that was the goal at the start of the season, so to achieve it now is just great. Obviously not getting any younger anymore, so it's just great to be back playing the Premier League again.
I think I heard one of your teammates shout, "Where are the beers?" So I'll let you go and enjoy the dressing room. Thanks for your time, Scott. Tom, man, thank you.
You know, you think back to that team back in 17-18, Scott Pittman among the goal scorers as Livingston came up through the playoffs then. He's been a constant. He has been there throughout, and I suppose it's guys like him who have been steeped in the tradition of the club, to whom this means even more. Some of the Livy fans have gotten top of one of the goal mouths over there, but there's danger of the crossbar coming down, but I think they've managed to move them away, which is good. And look, they're absolutely overjoyed. There's still a few out there, still a few players who are mingling with the Livy fans, but in the main that's them now starting to vacate the pitch, and the singing goes up again.
But Richard, you look at some of the stories there, it's great. I'm looking at Stevie May, St Johnstone going down.
Yeah.
Stevie May's gone up, and I was wondering, the Livy sub-goalie Jack Hamilton was here. He started for Ross County this season, had a couple of bad games, got emptied, he went to Livingston, he's come up suddenly, he's back in the Premier League with Livingston, and you've got young Fraser and Kelly who have left Rangers and found their way here. Brandon and Brandon left Hearts. You've got Macaulay Tate who's on loan, and they just looked a complete outfit tonight. They were easy on the eye. They played very well. Everybody watched the first leg, felt Livy had the better of it. There's no doubt tonight, and to recover as well from not just going 1 goal down, but 2 goals down on the back of a really poor error, to come back and play the way they played, and the goals that they scored were just unbelievable. And you say the A9 tonight is going to be, gold and black as they the Livy Lions wander down the road to a thoroughly deserved victory.
Yeah, inevitably there will be changes. They're going to have to strengthen, Michael, no matter how good they have been over the last, for the most part of the season, but certainly in the last 3 or 4 months of the campaign. They're still going to have to.
Of course. I think everybody would recognise that. But the point I was trying to make during the game there was that the core of that are players that we know, are Scottish players. Last season when they went down, it was a disparate mob. With the greatest respect, there was a lot of folk in there you were going, who, where, what? Whereas now, there's an identity to them, and they're playing much better football as well. And without being disrespectful to County, Livingston were a better. I think I said it before the game that if I'm looking at the two teams, the two squads, I'd go with Livy's. And I think Ross County have ended up a little bit of the Livingston from last season, a group of players that you're unsure of, and it became very, very disjointed. Not just today, but as the season's unfolded. I'll be honest, and I think I'm on record saying in February and March, I did not see this happening to Ross County. I thought they had enough grit and determination about them to be able to see enough results through that they wouldn't have been dragged into the playoff spot. But now Livingston in this playoff game have absolutely deserved to go up. They've been the better team.
They were sitting on 35 points with 4 games of the before the split to go, and they were looking at top 6, and then suddenly they just 5 straight defeats, with 5 games to go. They were on the same points that they finished the league season on, Richard. They only added 2 more points, and that's 10-11 games without a win, without one win, and that's ultimately cost them. As I say, to be 2-0 up, they must have felt at that stage, half an hour in, all in half an hour, you're thinking, Don Cowie, this is exactly what I need. Get to half time. But as I say, the Lewis Smith goal just didn't turn the game on its head, because Livingston were, as Michael's alluded to, were well in the game before then, but it gave them, you heard Danny Wilson saying there, you heard Scott Pittman saying there, that gave them the belief that if they could get the equaliser, they could go on and win the game.
Well, they finally found some flags. Normally there's a big flag comes out, the Premiership playoff winners, 24-25, there were 3, they're almost like mini flags anyway. And Christian Montano is down in front of the Livy fans. He's got one, he's bouncing up and down. You can hear the Livy fans shouting his name. The snappers, the photographers getting a few pictures of some of the players with those banners as well. Great moment, there's some young players, and quite apart from the experienced boys, some young players in that Livingston team, and this will be a very, very special moment for them, just as it would have been, of course, when they won the Challenge Cup just a couple of months ago. Still 7 or 8, 6 or 7 maybe of the players out there on the pitch. The others have made their way up into the dressing room. With no doubt there will be some liquid refreshments as they
you notice it's all the older players that have retired to the dressing room.
See that? Yeah, probably
the more experienced
absolutely
people
done in.
No, I think that's for the liquid refreshments.
Brilliant.
Get there before the young boys get in.
Quite right. Well, they're all kind of celebrating in their own way. Is it Teddy Yenga who's sitting across in the centre circle? Yeah, he just kind of. I think he's actually on the phone. He whipped the top off after he scored the 4th goal. I don't think he's had it on again since. And he's just kind of half sitting in the
rain
centre circle
as the rain comes down.
Oh, so it does. Aye. And he's
He's on the phone back to us, probably about 4 in the morning.
Wow, they'll be absolutely loving it. Just brilliant. You know, the bulk of the at least half, maybe 2/3 of the Livy fans still there, and you can hear just savouring at the moment. And hey, let's be honest, as well, you boys as football players, but as football fans, for the vast majority of us, these moments come along all too seldom. So you want to absolutely make them